What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Terror Table for episode 131, the episode that will be forever known as the sad episode.
Can we just have like sad with the, is it the upside down exclamation thing?
No one knows what we're sad about yet.
But we're talking about the X song?
Yeah.
I think it's just a normal exclamation.
Oh, is it just
an S.A.D? Isn't that what all those rappers do?
S.A.
Oh.
You guys are reading way too far into his
No, I was just like, I remember the big sad thing.
Hey, teabaggers. Today is Diego's last episode.
Yep. Forever.
Diego, we're not joking either. it sounds like we're joking, yeah. But I'm gonna let Diego talk here. But we are for those of you who are tuning in for the first time. This is a very strange place to be tuning in.
This is the worst cold open,
especially because like this is the first episode I've been on since.
It was it the
July?
Lana episode?
Oh, I think so.
The Lana episode.
Yeah, because it was when Lana and Andy and Bianca
If
were
people
here.
haven't seen this coming for the last year and a half, 2 years, I don't know what to tell you. Just so you guys know, though, we are a horror podcast. We talk about horror movies every single week. 3 years ago, almost to the day, I asked my two of my good friends to start a podcast with me. My name's Mitch, and the other friends that I asked
Diego,
and then we asked.
Hold on. I wrote down a list of things I will say instead of my name, like a catchphrase. I wrote down 5.
Can you say just your name once?
Boozy.
Okay.
I have so many good catchphrases.
Now do your catchphrases.
Okay. So we'll see if any of these stick. Now that's a boner. Tell your mom I'm in the house. Ooh, that's crispy. Shit, yeah, it's diarrhea time. Summon a demon. I'm about to do some creaming.
So
I know I haven't been here in a while. Yeah, I'm missing something.
I think I'm missing something, and I've been here every episode.
I just, it's like all these like big podcasts have like cool catchphrases. So I was trying to.
Do you say your name first?
Yeah, and then I'll come with that after. But I thought like maybe it is extra important if I do it first.
Yeah.
Any of those sticking? No. Okay.
Yeah, I like
more next. I'm a demon that's cream or whatever.
Yeah, I'll go with all of them. But back to what I was saying, about 3 years ago, I asked 2 of my buddies to start a podcast with me, in which we'll just be discussing horror movies and horror in general. And I guess things have changed for all of us. Things are different for all 3 of us right now. But
I'm now a woman.
Yeah, there's just there's a lot different. But I don't know. I use this as an excuse to get to hang out with my friends, but. It's become less likely for me to hang out with you through the podcast. Even I can just me and you still hang out when we can, but it's been scheduling problems, and we've had to repeat it since we started Guest Fest a year and a half, 2 years ago, where Diego's taking a short break, and then it just became you were just here when you could be. Mm-hmm. But no, I'm going to let you take it away for a second if there's anything you want to say.
No, essentially, just so people don't think there's any inner turmoil or anything within the 3 of us, and that's why I'm living. That's not it at all. I just don't, simply put, I just don't like podcasting anymore. Really, it's not really my thing. I've started doing so many other things on the side that I've become more passionate about, and podcasting, unfortunately, has just kind of dropped from the things I kind of really enjoy doing. I've been doing so much more with music and stuff, and I have limited time as it is with my work schedule and stuff, that I would rather put my energy into stuff that I'm still super passionate about rather than something that I'm not passionate about, because if I keep doing that and lying to myself, really I'm just going to get negative connotations towards the podcast, which then in turn would probably spread to you guys, and I don't want that to happen. So I want to stop doing this before I start thinking super negatively about it, and then the negative association things, because I don't want to dread coming here, because then it's it makes me feel like I'm dreading seeing you guys, which isn't the case at all. I just don't. You don't
have a passion for doing this.
Yeah, I don't have a passion for doing podcasts, and the thing is, even with the movies, it's I don't know what it is, but within the past couple months, I just can't focus on movies at all, and I've turned down the opportunity to see Tarantino's movie 3 times. Even somebody paying for me, I was I just don't want to go. And I don't even know what it is. It's just because I love Tarantino's movies, but something in me is I just don't have the energy or attention span to go and sit in a movie theater 3 hours and watch this. And I don't know what it is. It's just something in me was I just don't feel like
you're
watching
at a different stage in your life that this just isn't clicking for you. And I think I can speak for Boozy and myself both in saying that we appreciate you stepping down rather than letting it drag out.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing, because like obviously I enjoyed hanging out with you guys and stuff and talking about it when I
had some really good times.
Yeah,
really, really good times.
But I just don't want to. Yeah, it's just something I don't see myself pursuing in the future. And you guys have already proven that you don't necessarily need me. Like, you guys, I've listened to a few of your episodes, not all, because I didn't even listen to episodes when we first started doing this, but I've listened to a few of you guys' episodes, and yeah, you guys can totally carry this without a guest. So it's not like I feel bad like I'm leaving you guys like high and dry or anything, because I know that you guys can take this in a really good direction. So that's why I figured right now is the time to just be like, all right, I'm going to head out type thing.
Yeah, I'm
out of here. Head out.
Yeah. No, there's like, if for some reason anyone listening is reading into it even slightly, zero bad blood here.
Oh, zero bad blood. Yeah,
nothing but positive things. This to me, honestly, this is I've sort of wanted this to happen because I know where you're at.
Yeah.
We all know what's going on, and this is something that's supposed to be fun. And if you're not having fun with it, I know you. Even when you do come, I know you have fun. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, you got other shit going on and different pursuits and stuff like that, and I totally respect that.
Yeah, and it's like, even for like October and stuff, it's like I was thinking about it too, and like I'm barely going to be here in Saskatoon in October because I don't know if you just saw it today, but we're playing Halifax. We're playing Whitehorse at the start of October, and then Halifax in the end of October. So like I'm not gonna be in town at all. And I was thinking about, I'm like, man, like I can't fucking watch Halloween movies every day like we do every year.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be home. And then I was like, I don't even know how I'm gonna like make a top 10 this year, because I don't know, like I can't think of 10 movies I've really seen that stood out, just because like I just can't. I haven't seen enough movies this year, and I was just like, man, like I didn't want to go into like, I was thinking about October especially, because I was like, I can't go in October, which is supposed to be like our month essentially, and end up bringing you guys down and holding it back, because I become like so lazy when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong, I still love horror. Like I'm still a huge horror fan. I just right now I can't follow the medium of movies as much as I used to.
I say we, and thinking that Boozy thinks the same as I do, but so I guess I'm going to say but I think I have watched your passion for even discussing movies completely dissipate.
Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. It's just like, this was never meant to be something other than just a fun thing to do. So I don't think we need to linger on it too much. This is going to be a good episode as usual. The last time you were here was the Lana episode, so it's just clear that
she's not here, by the way.
Yeah, for any of you wondering though, Boozy and I are 100% continuing the show.
Yes.
Show will not stop anytime soon. We have no intention of stopping. We have a lot of plans with where we're going to go with the show, and if anything, this is just going to open up more possibilities for you to get an episode every week, because it's become like, for a long time we wanted to always when we started the show, it was like, if not all three of us can be there, no episode. Yeah. And that just became completely unrealistic. Well, and anyone who's ever done a podcast with three people is probably laughing, knowing that is not possible. Yeah. And I think we've done really well with keeping it steady and keeping the show going. And I think it's just growing every day. And we're Boozy and I are loving doing it. We love doing it with Diego. Obviously, it goes without saying that anytime you want to come back
I'd be definitely down.
You will be back on the show at some point, but you'll honestly be on here.
This is my last episode as an official member of the Terror Table. Yeah.
After this, it's going to be me and Boozy, the twin terrors.
Well, you're going to say Twin Towers.
Hey,
well, tomorrow's September 11th.
Shit, it is soon.
But
I
no.
did not.
So the other thing is, so we're covering Night of the Creeps today. Mm-hmm. We were going to be talking about this a month and a half ago,
goddamn, yeah.
And we held it off. And this is actually it's pretty amazing that it worked out this way, because that's a movie that you and I first really connected on. Boozy's never seen it until recently, so we're going to get into it.
I'm super curious to hear what you think about it, then.
Yeah, we're going to get into Night of the Creeps in the end portion of the show, like we always do. Before that, we're going to talk about some news and share what we have all been seeing. I don't know if Diego has had a chance to see it, but Boozy and I both saw It Chapter 2.
I haven't yet. I'm planning on actually seeing it next week.
So since we haven't, since we're not going to do a spoiler-filled review, it's going to be completely spoiler-free. Boozy, I was going to say that you should hold off on that, and I'll hold off on that until the very last, right before news. We'll delve into it a little deeper, because it's one that I want to talk about with you. We've barely been able to talk about it yet, and there's been so much talk about it online. So I just want to talk about all that stuff. But yeah, we are should have said this at the beginning. We're sloppy. Today is weird, but we are presented by the Saskatchewan Podcast Network, who is currently sponsored by Connexus Credit Union. So you can, obviously you're listening to the show now, but you can go to the SaskatchewanPodcastNetwork.ca and find a whole bunch of other podcasts to check out. You can find all of our links there to all of our social medias. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, so check us out there. Recommend us to a friend or don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't get you. If you're listening to us, you probably don't have friends. Fucking nerds. Just kidding, sorry.
I'd just like to mention, though, if people are going to send stuff in, please try and send it to one area, like just our Facebook or something, because we've gotten messages from several different places.
Especially now that we're doing these questions of the week.
Yeah.
Thing. Like, we only have 2 today, but we're going to address those right after. I want to get a couple last Diego things out of the way. And then we can move on to, we're going to be talking about, last episode, our post-credits question was, Boozy asked, you all, or anyone who is wanting to write myself, Mitch, and Guillermo del Toro fan fiction, erotic fan fiction, no less. So we'll be here, Boozy's going to share, I think we got 2 stories.
Yeah.
So we're going to do...
And I have one as well.
Okay, so 3 stories, and I haven't heard any of these. I know nothing about any of them, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I don't know. Last closing things before we get onto the fun part of the show. Diego, this has been amazing having, like, I asked you first. You were the first person that came to mind when I wanted to start a podcast. And then Boozy came into the picture and just like fucked it all up. But no, but this started off as a Mitch and Diego idea. Like you and I were pretty invested in doing it.
It's been a good ride. Like, I hope people listening don't think that, like, from the get-go I've hated doing this and I've wanted it out for so long. That's not the case at all. I've loved doing this. It just, like you said, it's been almost 3 years. People change in 3 years. So, like,
you were working at HMV when we started.
I know, it's full of a lot of hatred and towards a lot of things. And, like, no, people change. So it's like...
Are you saying we're full of hatred?
No. But, like, I'm saying, like, I
am.
Yeah.
My personality has shifted quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, no, like, this is doing this whole time. I've enjoyed doing this, and especially like, meeting like so many cool people like across the world, and like actually like having like a bit of a following. It's something I never thought would happen, and like even like the whole like Adam McDonald thing was like fucking wild.
Yeah,
and, like meeting friends like in person, like both here and in like Orlando. Like,
so are you sharing your favorite moments of the show right now?
Oh no, not necessarily.
Because we're gonna share our top 3 favorite Diego moments. Be a good.
Oh, okay. Well, top. I don't know. My top 3, or I don't know if I have a top 3 Diego moments.
No, you could just.
I'm fucking confused.
Yeah, no.
I'm sick, and I'm
talk
running
about yourself
like 3
in third person.
I just want to say, these aren't like legitimate, definitive like things of like my favorite Diego moments, but on the show, the things that immediately came to mind is like I will never forget. Well, first of all, you added a whole bunch of diverse opinions to the show that we wouldn't have had. Like, it's going to be hard. Like, we probably will never fill that void of like having someone who fully endorses Kuso, probably more than anyone who's made Kuso. So we're gonna miss that. We'll try and keep Kuso alive, especially we'll keep the people updated on if there's a Kuso too.
Have you even seen it yet, Boozy?
Yeah, we did an episode on it.
Oh wait, holy shit!
I've seen it like 3 times.
Yeah, he's seen it like second most out of this table.
Yeah.
I am so disassociated right
I've
now.
seen it 3 more times than I wanted to.
I loved almost right out of the gate. You like I had this image in my head of this show where we were going to be kind of informative and entertaining to listen to. That dissipated episode 2.
Well, we're entertaining still.
Yeah, well, we became what we are and what we should have always been, and that's unfiltered fucking idiots. Yeah. And exactly like how we are off of mic. This is how we sound when we're off of mic. There's no show here. There's just mics. But
there's no script.
Like, I could not believe. I could believe it. I just couldn't. I knew that there was something going on having mics here, and how we could no longer ever. None of us could pursue political careers.
Oh God, no.
But one of my favorite moments of knowing that is when Diego was celebrating being happy about how his grandparents were dead because of.
Is that already episode 2?
Oh, that was like within the first 10 episodes. Fuck. But you were excited. You were happy that your grandparents were dead when talking about M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Oh, right. Because we were talking about The Visit.
Yeah, and then you doubled down and said, in saying that your grandma had dementia, so the minute she forgot who you were, you forgot who she was. These are things that this psychopath has decided to put on air for anyone to find.
And I wonder for like new listeners, like, because sometimes people won't go listen to the earlier stuff. I wonder if there are new people who haven't even heard that.
I'm gonna, and that's why I want to, like, I kind of want to share a couple that, like, people, if you haven't listened to every single episode, I want to just do a quick jot notes version of it. But like, because like, there's one story that is like, it doesn't even have to do with the podcast. It's just that we shared it on the podcast. That was in episode 2, and I want to share that story again because that will forever be my number one all-time favorite Diego
this is the
moment.
photo member? Yeah.
Yes, that was my all-time favorite Diego story, so I'm going to share that one more time. But I also, like, for whatever reason, I always have in my head, when you're talking about Doom, be like, Doom is for the demons. That was just, like, an epic moment. But, yeah, there's, like, my favorite Diego story of all time, which involves me. Diego and I were living together. A couple people have probably already heard the story.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't talked about it, I don't think, since episode 2.
But on the podcast, maybe not, but
No.
I know you and me have brought her up many times.
It's because it's the funniest story of all time. So your boy Mitch was fresh out of an 8-year relationship. I was fresh playing the field. Is that what they call it? I was
grass on the field.
I was going crazy. I was going nuts. I was exploding into the dating world and meeting new people. Diego was living in my basement at this time, and there was this one woman who I started, I hung out with her like once, and then one night I was bringing her home with me, and I texted Diego I needed him to do me a favor, and because I knew at this point Diego had been up to his antics where he'd be scaring me or like hiding in my bed or hiding in my closet and taking Snapchat videos, and like there was a couple times where you were hiding for an hour. Yeah. I'd get home from work and I'd be changing, and then I'd find out and I'd sit on the couch and I'd get a whole bunch of Snapchats, just an onslaught of Snapchats, and they're all from my closet of Diego filming me. So I wanted to message you, be like, hey, just so you know, please don't pull any fuckery tonight because this woman is coming back home with me. And you were like, at this point, so you had never met her.
Nope.
You didn't even know who she was in person. I told you about her 3 hours before this.
You told me her name, and that's
I told you her name like 3 or 4 hours before this, and then so I called you and said, please don't pull any shit. You're like, wait, she's coming home, she's coming here tonight? And I said, yes. He's like, she's coming here at this house. And then I said, yes. And then Diego said, oh fuck, and then hung up the phone. And then so I'm sitting in this bar with her, and I'm realizing, I'm like, something's not right, this isn't good. And I start getting another onslaught of fucking 40 Snapchats, just one after the other, all from Diego, just bang, 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 bang. I start opening them up. Diego had went on her Facebook page and like printed off every single picture of her that she had online and posted it all around the fucking house. And he put it under my pillow, on the front of the house, on the windshield of my car, and in the fridge, and in the washer and dryer. Yeah. And like, so I remember you were stressed out because you're like, I was worried that I didn't get all of them because there was so many. Yeah. So this was when you were working at HMV, so you printed all these off at HMV. At work. You had to have used a brick of white paper to do this. But that was like the funniest. And then the best part about it all is how you said that if you entertained the idea, if you had more time, you wanted to go and get her face screen printed onto a Dairy Queen ice cream cake and put it in the fridge. And this is a person that 100% would not have gotten that joke. Yeah. She would have, like, I look like Buffalo Bill. Like, so I remember even going home that night and then getting all those snaps, and I was worried. I was like, I'm gonna find some here, or she's gonna go to the bathroom and like gonna be one find on the toilet seat, find a picture of her in my shower or something. So that was amazing. I will never forget that. That will forever go down as
one of the my most favorite things I've ever done.
Dude, that's the funniest fucking shit ever. Like, it was so good.
I almost ruined a girl's life.
Yeah, she
almost ruined your life.
Yeah, 100%. No, well, I wouldn't have given a fuck after the next day, but like she would have never forgotten it. I'm never gonna forget it. Yeah. But those are a couple stories. Boozy, do you have any favorite Diego moments
on the show? Yes, I have a couple from the show. The very first time you said you didn't like Halloween, and we're all like, what the fuck? That was the first episode. Yeah, just like on the first episode, just drops this huge bombshell.
And not just Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis too.
Yeah. To be clear, I have made jokes about this before, but like if I had actually known that before, I actually wouldn't have asked you to start this podcast.
And the other Sorry, the other one was when we were doing our Stephen King series, and you showed up and immediately apologized when we were doing the Longlears episode. It's like instantly, I'm so sorry.
Because Diego decided to choose. Like that
You
goes to
knew
show-
you fucked up.
Yeah.
That goes to show how times have changed. Where we would each pick a movie in a series, and Diego thought it would be hilarious to choose the 3-hour movie. Nowadays, you'd be like, "Fuck, I don't even want to watch a 10-minute movie." You chose Langoliers.
One of the slowest, most dry movies I've ever
Till
seen.
this day, the worst movie we've covered on the show.
Yep.
That or Bye Bye Man. But
100%.
Yeah, but Bye Bye Man was at least entertaining because we were laughing at it.
yeah,
Langoliers was
painful.
It was just a
tough.
slog.
Well, at least I didn't have to pay for Longlears.
I'm pretty sure I ended up halfway through Langoliers. I sped it up by like 8, and
Yeah.
it was still slow. But I still got everything I needed to get from the movie.
How many times have you come on the show and just had Wikipedia the movie?
You know, actually, believe it or not, I think that's maybe only happened once.
Really?
Yeah,
So-
I've watched every other movie like we've done.
Like, has it been a movie? Was it a movie that you had already seen?
I believe so. Yeah, it was a movie. I'm pretty sure it was a movie I'd already seen, and I just couldn't be. What the fuck was that?
It was on the computer. but
Couldn't be pissed to watch it again, so I just like got a quick like Wikipedia refresher.
Yeah.
I don't remember what movie it was, but I have committed and watched every single movie that we've like said we were gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay, this one was on a more personal note because most of our listeners probably will never know about this, but like there was a lot of times where you or I said some real heinous shit, and we always just looked at each other and like smiled. I don't know, there was something about that was like it was like that Jim Halpert moment all
Yeah.
the time where it's like,
Look at
oh,
the
we just
cameras.
said, we just said some real rank shit, and we're just kind of like acknowledging it to each other.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's something that probably doesn't come across when you're listening, but that was always like such a fun time.
I just want to say I got to see you guys become friends because you guys weren't really friends before this, and then
No,
like,
the first time I met Boozy, I remember you're like, he likes Drake and he vapes.
yeah,
I was like,
we're going to go buy him a
Man,
vape
yeah.
today.
Things have changed so much.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah! The first time I met Boozy, we went to go buy him a vape, and then we had like a housewarming party that night, kind of because like I moved in.
Yeah.
Boozy was appreciative because I didn't drink his beer that he left in my fridge.
yeah. We played the Guitar Hero that night and everything.
Well, like Rock Band and everything.
Yeah, fuck. Yeah, times have changed.
Fuck.
It's gross that it's
Summer
been 3
16.
years. Yeah, that was the best and worst year of my life.
I agree.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. So, do you guys want to get onto the or do you have anything you want to share? You already pretty much shared
Shared a
everything.
lot. Yeah, no, I was happy that we did this. I'm happy that I could leave on a good note without you guys being bitter about it, because that was like my main fear. Like I was like, fuck, like they're gonna either hate me or Mitch is gonna get real depressed.
Oh fuck, man, we wanted you gone so long ago. Just kidding. I'm kidding. No, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, no, and that's why like I'm glad that it's leaving on a good note. Rather than me, it's better to burn out than fade away.
To be clear, I am always depressed.
I know that's.
It doesn't matter what happens.
I just didn't want to put you over the edge. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, if I haven't been put over the edge by this week, trust me, I'm good.
It's only Tuesday.
Yeah, I know. No idea. This is a highlight of my week doing this show. Like it means so much.
Once again, it's only Tuesday.
Still got four or three more
Let's
days
work
after
on
this.
let's
All right.
bump these numbers.
Do you guys want to talk about horror movies?
Yeah.
So what has everyone been up to? Diego, would you like to go first to say that you haven't watched anything in the past month?
Well, I did get up to some shit.
Okay.
I'll start off with the most horror-centric one. I went and saw Ready or Not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yep.
What did you think?
You guys both talk about it now because you haven't talked about it on the show yet.
No, I haven't.
I've already talked about it.
Yeah, I saw hints of you talking about it.
Hints.
Yeah, like on Twitter. Like, I saw Lana talk about it. She was like,
Oh, everyone was because to be fair, that I was fucking loaded last episode. Like I was real drunk in that 47 meters down episode, and I think I was scared to tell people that I just liked it.
"Oh, you liked it?
Yeah, it was good, but it's not amazing.
Okay."
Like did you not like it?
No, I loved it.
Okay.
It's this would probably be my top 3 of the year so far.
Yeah. What's sad is it's in mine as well.
Was it like a theater experience? Because like I loved it too.
Okay, no, I've already shared my thoughts.
Okay.
You guys talk about it. I liked it a lot.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
No, I just thought it was, it was kind of like a spur of the moment, spontaneous thing. Because a big part of the reason why I wasn't here in August is because I really did actually just have a really fucking busy August. And one of the things I did was move to a new house. And I think on the second night there, I was unpacking, and me and my roommate were like, "Fuck it, let's take a break. Let's go." I live right beside Landmark now.
The best theater.
Yeah. So we're like, what's playing? I'm like, oh, Ready or Not's playing. I kind of want to see that. So we went and saw it. No, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was hilarious. It was definitely more comedy than horror. The only real, I don't even know if this is a criticism. This is the only thing I was expecting a bit more gore. And there was like a scene involving like a well and a nail and her hand that I thought was going to go in like a completely different gorier direction, and it didn't. And I don't know if
it was still pretty gory.
It was still pretty gory, but I thought like it was going to go like,
yeah,
you know. And
that was a highlight scene though.
Yeah,
that scene's
no,
awesome.
I thought it was funny. I really liked the writing. I knew what the, well, I don't know if it's obvious to a lot of people, but I knew what the twist was going to be, like opening credits.
Yeah.
But I was happy. I was happy that it kind of that went in that direction and wasn't 100% grounded in reality. Especially because like the ending payoff scene was.
It kind of sucks that we're conditioned now by how much crazy shit that we're getting that we can call something that absurd. Because I felt the same way.
Yeah.
Like whereas like, well, because other movies have done it.
Yeah, and like you when you think about like the story, and then you see, like, even when you see the board games at the start, you immediately know, you're like, oh, I know what this is going to be about.
I fucking love that ending.
Yeah. Oh no, the ending was the best
I
part.
really like this movie.
What's her name? Samara Weaving?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
she's awesome.
This might have been her breakout role.
Mayhem, man.
Yeah, but
babysitter.
What's
She
his
was great
name?
in
John
Mayhem.
Cho or whatever? Stephen Yang, whatever.
Jesus. Okay, tomato, I guess.
Well, Stephen Yang was I would say he was more of a highlight in Mayhem than Samara Weaving was. And Babysitter, since it was a Netflix movie, she didn't really get a time to shine. But I think this movie was probably her breakout role.
Yeah, that movie, Babysitter, just showed us how she's hot. Mayhem showed us that she's funny. Yeah. And then Ready or Not showed all of the above.
Of it. And then it showed like she can like actually act too. What's his name? Adam Brody?
Yes,
not
okay, Adam Brody, not Adrian Brody. Jesus
Christ. Not the pianist, the guy from the OC. I thought he was really good in this.
Surprisingly good. Yeah. I really liked his character.
Yeah.
I love him. Like, he's great in everything.
I liked all the characters, even like the ones that you're technically not supposed to like. I just like how fucking stupid they were. Like the fat guy who didn't know how to use a crossbow and stuff. Like, no, I thought it was great.
That was one of the best like running gags in that whole movie.
Or how they kept. I don't want to say things.
Yeah, people just got to go see it. It's definitely one of the best horror movies this year.
I'll just say The Mates, like how that kept happening. I thought that was like that reoccurring thing was pretty funny. No, I liked it. It's
all in the trailer though.
I know, but I was still. It wasn't a trailer, but the context of it wasn't all there, so that's why I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The only shitty thing is, and this isn't the movie's fault at all. Do you guys know what Landmark? Do they run it off discs or what do they run it off of?
I don't know.
It's not film.
No, definitely not.
The last 20 minutes of the movie. Every about 5 minutes, the movie would buffer.
What?
Yeah, like it would. It's
no,
like,
I think that's your problem.
That's not acceptable.
No, I know. Like it was. It's or like the. Like I say buffer.
Screaming it illegal.
Yeah.
Well, I say buffer because that's what it looked like, but like the disc must have been scratched or something, and it was during. It was during the climax of the movie.
It must have been the Wi-Fi because I'm pretty sure they played off of files.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
know a lot of
it was.
do that
It would go like like it would buffer. It would like literally buffer, and like people were like,
that would piss me off so bad.
The first time it happened, it was only like 2 seconds long, and I remember a bunch of people were just kind of like looking around, being like, "Did everyone else see that?" Yeah, and then
man, I would lose my shit if that was happening in like a Star Wars movie or something like.
And then it kept happening, and people were eventually going like, "What the fuck?" Right? And like it was super annoying.
Did you get free tickets afterwards?
No.
What?
Yeah, because since it was like the last 10 minutes of the movie.
I know this fucking guy who sent a message in saying that if he sent in showing how many movies he goes to Galaxy, and Landmark gave him like 15 free movies.
What?
Yeah, like that's what you should be getting, at least a free movie.
Yeah,
that's bullshit.
I don't know. It was like a 10 o'clock movie, and like there was like a lineup of people complaining, and I was like, I'm gonna go home. So it kind of
head out.
It kind of ruined the impact of the movie and the pacing by a little bit, but I still enjoyed it. Like I still like it. It wasn't the movie's fault, obviously. It's just an unfortunate circumstance, which is the only bad experience I've had at that theater too.
Yeah, I've heard of one other person who I know a couple guys who went and saw Rocket Man, and apparently the like heat was they started the movie late, and there was like a heat issue where everyone in the theaters was sweating.
Those movies are usually theaters are usually pretty cold. Like they tell you to bring a blanket.
And apparently the sound was really low. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
Somebody sleeping?
Yeah.
So what do you think of it?
I thought it was really, really good. I'm the only one who didn't call the ending. I was just like, let this movie play. It was a lot of fun. I liked all the characters, even the ones you're not supposed to like are really enjoyable. It's kind of like, it reminds me a lot of like You're Next. I think I said that before.
It's like the comedy version of You're Next.
Yeah,
but You're Next is funny too.
Yeah, but they play it off a bit more seriously and dark.
Yeah, I like You're Next more just because I like slashers to begin with,
and it's a better movie.
Yeah, but like I think this movie is great. I thought the ending was fantastic, and it's definitely like it's a bottle movie. Like I don't want to see anything else from this. I'm fine with just the way it is, and I hope that they don't go
touch
like
it. It'd be cool to have just this one original really good movie.
Yeah, they like everyone in there can go and do whatever they want now and say that they were in that movie, but I don't need to see a sequel. But that being said, I like this movie a lot.
The more we're talking about too, the more I actually like. This goes to show like I made it. This has happened. This is the worst part of this podcast for me. Like worst part for me of doing this podcast is when I don't absolutely blow something, it means I hate it.
Oh, yeah.
But I also do it to myself where I have to I preface it like crazy. Like, I know I was just annoying in that last review. I apologize to anyone who had to listen to that. But I really like that movie. I'm really looking forward to like, I can't wait to watch it again. Like, I'm going to buy it as soon as it comes out, and I'm going to watch it again.
Also, I feel like when it comes out, there will be deleted scenes or extra stuff that will be more gory, because there are several scenes where there's like extremely implied gore, but later on you see the actual like corpses, quote unquote. So I feel like there is other things like shot
director's cut version.
Yeah, exactly. There's specifically a shot with a barn where you see somebody get dumped off. That you're like, oh, okay, I feel like there's more of a scene there. I don't know, maybe if that was just how I perceived it, but it did seem like there could be some extra stuff going in there.
What's still one of my favorite parts of the movie too is the very end, where like all of a sudden like there's the empty chair, and all of a sudden it's not empty, and she's like, fuck. like just kind of like, okay, like
did you see anything else, Diego?
I haven't seen anything else, but I got other things to talk about.
Play some games.
Yeah, so at the start of August, end of July, it was like Doom's 25th anniversary, and so they re-released Doom 1, Doom 2, and Doom 3 on PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. And I bought Doom 1, Doom 2, and Doom 3 on my PS4 and my Switch. So now I own multiple copies of that game again, and I still play through them and I still love it as much as I did the very first time I ever played it. Because Doom Eternal is coming out November 22nd, and that's the one I ordered. The collector's edition comes with the helmet.
And it is for
PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. And it's for the demons. And Doom 64, which is the only one I never played.
Man, that's the one I played most.
And I've never even touched it.
Really? Yeah, that's the only one I played.
Being re-released on Switch.
There's been a lot of Switch or old N64 games are on Switch
Turok's
now.
On Switch.
Yeah, like Microsoft has that too.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, when are you getting your Doom tattoo? Like it just feels.
I'm honestly considering it. Like I want to get.
I'm surprised you don't have one yet.
I just don't know exactly what I would get or where I would get it.
BFG on your forehead.
Big fucking gay. To anyone who doesn't know, BFG actually means big fucking gun. But anyway, no, I think I want to get like the Doomslayer's helmet somewhere and then have like it just say rip and tear.
Hell yeah.
The ripping and the tearing, the ripping and Do you remember that video?
Ripping and tearing, that sounds familiar.
Is that old guy just like do it for the something women and the ripping and the tearing, the ripping and the tearing?
Okay, maybe I don't know what you're fucking talking
about. It was like memes before memes, but they were YouTube videos and they went around
like troll face.
If anyone can remember the ripping and the tearing, just let me know.
You've earned a veterans discount.
Yes, exactly.
Another game I played just came out today actually, and it's one I've been waiting for about 6 years or so. It's an indie game called Blasphemous, and a lot of buzzwords for me when it comes to video games are roguelike, Souls-like, Metroidvania, etc. This is a Souls-like Metroidvania in a very bleak gothic horror world. You play as a nameless knight type guy called the Penitent One.
Wait, I thought you didn't have a name.
Well, he doesn't have like a name like Jeff or something like. No,
What
it's
a
just
stupid name. Jeff.
It's this very
Geoff.
brutal, like sprite based, like super dark, bleak horror world. That the whole thing is based on like how guilt people feel, and it's very bloody and it's very creepy and it's very unsettling. And it just came out today, and I'm excited to stay home all day tomorrow and play it.
Oh, it just came out today.
Just came out today. It's on PS4 and Xbox One. I was waiting 6 years, and I played a little bit today, and so far it doesn't disappoint.
And you can buy it online, like just
It's
the
a
PSN
digital
network?
only. Yeah.
So how much is it? for PSN?
$30 I think on PSN.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a big budget. Like,
Is it something that I would like?
If you like Castlevania games?
Yeah, I love Castlevania.
Well, then you might like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah.
But I'm really hard up on Borderlands 2 right now from 7 years ago.
Is it in my spaghetti?
On the moon. And then other thing, it's not horror related, but it's just still what I've been doing. So I think I'll talk about. So I've like really the only thing I can focus on these days is anime because it's so bite sized and it'll give me a fucking look. I've become a full on weeb, man.
You what?
I've become a full on weeb.
Like,
I'm like fuck yeah. Thank God for the Crunchyroll account. But yeah, like, cause like I'll sit in bed after work and I'll either watch YouTube videos or I'll be like, all right, time to watch One Piece. And I finally started watching One Piece again after years of not. Do you know what One Piece is?
Is that the pirate one?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I finally started watching One Piece again. I used to watch it when I worked at HMV because it was before streaming service was really a thing. So I'd buy all the DVDs and then I just didn't want to keep spending money because it was expensive. So I stopped buying them so I could finally continue it. I'm on episode 88 and I'm almost caught up because I only have 800 episodes left to go.
800.
There's legit.
can
I'm
see
seeing
the finish
That's why I
line.
can't get into that shit. Like they're the ones that I grew up watching, like Ninja Scroll and Berserk and shit like that.
Yeah. Well, this man, like, yeah, there's literally, and the show is still ongoing. I'm pretty sure there's like 895 episodes right now.
Oh my
So
god.
I've got quite a journey ahead.
There
of me.
was a guy who I used to work with who used to like he'd go like month by month, be like, I'm gonna wear a goatee this month, but I'm gonna shave it, and then he'd bring the goatee back, but he'd wear the same sweater every day. He was a weirdo. I worked in a
That's
warehouse with a lot of weirdos, but he was obsessed with One Piece,
I love One
and
Piece.
it has completely turned me off from it. But like, it's been long enough since I've been away from this. What has to be a serial killer, and I can maybe give it a chance. But I don't know. 800 episodes. Fuck no.
I'd say normally I would try and like.
I'm not even gonna watch Swamp Thing because it's not renewed for a second season, and there's 10 episodes.
Well, yeah, the thing is, it's like normally I would try my best to encourage you to give it a chance, but it's like, yeah, man, like 895 episodes, just don't even bother. Like, just don't. Like JoJo is one thing because there's maybe like 100 episodes total, but One Piece is like just unless you liked it when you were younger, don't.
I still gotta do Neon Genesis too.
Evangelion. It's on Netflix now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but I think it's like watered down or something like
Yeah.
that. Someone told me, but I have a couple friends who swear by it, saying it's the greatest thing to ever grace Earth.
The TBS Superstation.
Everyone tells me, if you're depressed, you'd love Evangelion. That's what
Sure, I told you that.
Yeah.
Really? So that's
Yeah.
two people. Yeah, because you and my friend Yuneas told me that, or he's just like
I actually said most of the time, like, don't watch it if you're depressed.
Oh,
'cause
he
it
told
makes
me that
like,
you
so much
need
worse.
to watch it if you're depressed.
You've seen Akira, right?
Akira?
Akira.
Yes, I've seen that. Is this
Fucking
going
white
somewhere?
bastard.
No, I just we were talking about like
Oh, dude,
essential anime watching.
I went through in high school, I was just, what do you call a weeb?
Weeaboo.
Is
Well,
it-
weeb, but it's like weeb is a shortened form of weeboo. You know,
Does that mean someone who fucks with anime real
Yeah,
hard?
yeah. So it's like,
Dude, I was crazy on anime.
when it always just it sounds like a vaguely racist term, but and I've never actually looked into what it actually stands for. But
Yeah, what if you're just like saying some horrible shit right
then
now?
I apologize
What, like
to our
weeaboo?
Japanese
Yeah.
neighbors. But
Japanese neighbors.
so then I've been watching One Piece, and then I watched the entire series so far of this anime called My Hero Academia, which is all about superheroes and stuff, and it's actually super fucking good. And then I bought the My Hero Academia video game, and I've been playing that too. And then I watched the entire series of another anime called Kill la Kill, which is about clothing gives people powers, and there's a lot of like kind of nudity, but not nudity.
Clothing that gives you powers?
Yeah.
So is this like the shirts that Boozy posted on Instagram of
like the
laborers?
super like with super specific
Do you make
shirts.
those up or where?
No, I
Those are
find
legit
them.
things.
Yeah, those are all real.
Well, I work around people who wear shit like that.
Those are
But,
those
like,
things where like it's when your phone listens to you, and also on Facebook you'll see like don't fuck with people named Mitch who are born in July
who are
and
also
love
an electrician.
podcasting. Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Oddly
fuck.
specific
Yeah,
shirts.
it's like, okay, my phone is listening to me.
Sure, I fucking flunked out of high school in grade 9 and I'm a sheet metal worker now, but fuck you if you don't like my attitude.
I love my wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always shit like that. But yeah, other than that, I think that's it.
Okay.
Doom.
Yeah. I had Ready or Not and then It.
That's it. Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll go on to it. But I obviously, like, I've watched so much that I saved, like, 5 things for next week.
Okay.
But I'm going to go through things. Boys, I watched Ma.
Oh,
Didn't get
yeah.
a chance to see Ma.
Oh.
That's out on Blu-ray now, and I
Yep.
was gonna buy it.
So I talked about this I was on the 2 episodes ago, I was on Erie International, in which I was talking about Lock and Key Head Games, Volume 2 of the Lock and Key series with them. Just want to say I had an amazing time doing that episode. That was like, it was an experience. I appreciate everyone. There are people who have reached out to me, talking to me, sending me some nice things after that, because I shared some shit on that episode, and I had a lot of fun with those guys. Love Dave and love David. But yeah, I talked about this on there, so I'm going to keep it brief. But so I watched Ma, starring Octavia Spencer. She's obviously great in it.
I love her in Precious.
Yeah, and what? Is she actually in prison?
No.
Oh my god, you're awful. You're
It's
awful.
my last episode. I could go with
Yeah,
a bang.
you are the
That was
dirty.
awesome to watch. He's just like, yeah.
You are the dirty underwear of this podcast. You are the mess on the pants. Luke Evans is in this movie, who is famous for
Vampire Untold, or Dracula Untold.
Dracula Untold, Fast and the Furious. Where'd this guy come from? Because everyone loves him. Luke Evans.
What
He's
else?
He's decent. He's in the
like
Fast and Furious
another
movies.
action movie recently too. I don't remember what it was, but it was like one that people were like loving.
Yeah,
What was
I
it?
don't know.
Oh, it was on Netflix. Fuck, what was it?
It wasn't Point Blank.
No. It wasn't Point Blank. It
He's
wasn't a
not in
remake.
it.
It was like an original movie. It came out around the same time as like The Wheelman.
I don't
fuck,
know.
I can't remember what
Either
it was.
way, Luke Evans and Juliette Lewis from Natural Born Killers, and their really, really horrible movie, with the other sister. If you ever want to, like, there's those movies where it's Juliette Lewis. I don't know why I'm bringing this up right now. Juliette Lewis and Giovanni Ribisi play both autistic people, I think, or they're mentally challenged, and
Okay.
like, but it's a love story, and it is so
And they fall in
incredible.
love with each other.
Yeah, but it is
beautiful.
no, but
But
the
they're
thing is-
sisters?
but it's both actors who are not mentally handicapped in any way, and it's just like they're doing like
They're Harvey Milk in it.
it's like
Isn't
no,
that
wait.
the equivalent of like blackfacing?
okay. So there are times where like 'cause you could have that debate for Forrest Gump as well with Tom
And like
Hanks.
literally, all I'm thinking about
But
in this
to me,
conversation,
this like blackface is no worse than what they're doing in this movie.
Tropic Thunder.
No, I know it would. Yeah, like
I just don't wanna say it.
We're not going to say it, but that's exactly what it is. Like, this is a prime example of being like, holy fuck, you guys. And apparently it's happening in Fred Durst's new movie.
Oh,
Fred Durst and John Travolta in The
Travolta?
Fanatic, and John Travolta is playing a mentally handicapped guy, and like Seb saw it, and he said that like Seb is a guy who has no moral compass at all.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, he's like, in the theater, he was saying to himself, he's like, dude, stop.
you saw it in the theater?
No, he saw it at Fan Expo because Travolta was
Oh.
there, so they premiered it there.
Oh no!
But apparently, he said that Travolta like fully commits to being
Mentally
like
handicapped.
mentally handicapped, and it is like uncomfortable. I can't imagine. Okay, anyways, Ma. Yeah, I don't know. Like we were all really excited for it. We're all really excited for it. Hope you guys still watch it. I didn't really like it.
I still do want to watch it,
Yeah.
and I want to try and start buying movies again because I'm hoping
Do not buy this.
no.
Do not fucking buy this.
Oh.
Yeah,
Kinda
like,
let
but
down.
watch it though. Like you might like it. I don't know. I was entertained the whole time, but it's not a good movie.
Yeah, because I
but-
saw it on sale at Walmart next to the Banana Splits movie, and I'm like, I'm gonna come back for both of you.
I'm still planning on watching the Banana Splits
Yeah.
movie, but yeah, I don't know, Ma. It's like you saw the trailer, so you know it's Octavia Spencer plays this older woman who she pulls booze for some teenagers one day, and then things just escalate, and it becomes like hey, why don't you come and party at my house? Like I have all this space and no one's using it, so come party here.
I'm sassy.
And then you realize that she starts partying with the kids, and then you realize that she's
Is that
kind of
that-
has some nefarious issues.
Is that the guy that Jason Hamill would hang out with?
Okay, so I want to talk about this. So 100% Jason Hamill did hang out with this guy. I did as well, Do you guys, like, I don't get the vibe that you got into these situations, but I got the vibe that you did. Do you ever remember...
For those who didn't see, he pointed at me who didn't get the vibe from Boozy.
So, because I think Diego was probably just playing video games and hitting up girls on MySpace. And
I wasn't good at MySpace.
No. But Boozy, I feel like, I don't know, I smoked a ton of weed in high school at strangers' houses where I realized while I was high, being like, this is really fucking weird that I'm in this 40-year-old guy's house and he just has a bunch of teenagers over. Have you ever been in those situations?
I had a weird New Year's Eve incident, but I don't know if we have enough time to talk about it.
Well, like, were you with an old person? Like,
I
older?
was with a dude and his dad.
Just you, the guy, and his dad?
There was like 6 of us, but they were like... Okay, the guy was graduating, and we were all in grade 9, and there was like 6 of us. And we all got stoned in a tree fort with no heat on fucking New Year's Eve, and then hung out in this dude's basement. And it was really awkward because he started arguing with his son halfway through the night. So we were all just sitting there watching this.
Did he start videotaping you?
No, not yet. That was the weirdest fucking countdown to New Year's I've ever had.
Oh, that's depressing. I'm sorry. But, like, yeah, I don't know. I got myself in this type of situation all the time. So, like, this is a type of movie that could turn people off from the premise alone, being like, hey, that would never happen. Just so you guys know, spoiler alert, it fucking happens. But yeah, overall, I don't know. It's not a terrible movie. It's not very good either. Like, it was your couple. Unfortunately, and this is another thing I mentioned on that Eerie International episode that I want to clarify. I talked about how I hate flashbacks. So there's like, obviously there's a time and a place for flashbacks. Flashbacks all over the fucking place in the new It movie and in the comic book series that we were talking about, Lock and Key. It's loaded with flashbacks. I don't like where it like. It's so fucking obvious and you don't need the flashback. Like, we know. We get it.
They just do it for, like, exposition?
They do it for exposition, but, like, to the 10th degree, and they change the filter of the fucking... Like, when it gets all, like, fuzzy and shit like that. Like, it's just cheesy. But flashbacks galore in that movie really pulled me out. Obviously, like, I think that you could watch the trailer and have an idea of where it's going to go. So it's nothing, like, it wasn't horrible. I was a letdown for me because I was genuinely excited for it. Like, I hope you guys, there's 2 movies that I'm going to be talking about that I didn't really like that I want both of you guys to still watch because you might like them. But yeah, Moth, just for me, it didn't really do it. The one that I really want Boozy to watch that I watch is called They're Inside. Have you heard about this movie?
No.
Okay, so it came out through the distribution label Dread Central, and in my opinion, it feels like, okay, so this is The Strangers, but found footage.
Oh.
Ooh.
So I want Boozy to watch it because I want to see if you like it or if you also think that it was the boringest fucking bullshit. Like, I didn't like it at all because it is just The Strangers, but found footage. Yeah, it's exactly The Strangers.
That looks like The Purge.
Weeb masks.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Well, it's like a waifu mask.
So yeah, he's looking up pictures of it here.
Notice me, senpai.
But I don't know. Yeah, like, I just feel like the movie's kind of pointless because we've already seen The Strangers and it does it much better. And anyone who's watching this is probably going to be like, hey, it's like The Strangers. And you're just going to think about The Strangers the whole time you're watching it. But it's different in the sense that, hey, but now it's found footage. And it's like a mockumentary found footage style because it's about a group of people who are making a movie out at a secluded house. And they start getting the whole strangers come to the door and being like playing games with them or like getting weird, and the plot thickens and people die and people wear masks and they storm the house. So it's I'd like to hear what you think of it because I really fucking
you sound sold.
Yeah. Man, I did not like it. Like, it's a movie that's it's an hour and 23 minutes and I felt like it would never fucking end. Like, it just kept going, but I was like there's got to be something here. But no, so I didn't really like that one. One that I did like, I liked it enough, is, have you guys heard of The Witch in the Window? It's a Shudder exclusive. So this movie is 77 minutes long. So that's a short-ass movie. Yeah. And I'm always down for that.
New?
Yeah, it came out, I think, 2018 or 2017.
Okay.
But it's a Shudder exclusive. It's a small, contained, independent, haunting horror story. A man and his son move into a new home that's like kind of run down, and the man has an intention of fixing up the house and flipping it. So it's him and his son. He's obviously separated from his wife, and the story just unfolds in different. It's your standard haunting movie, but it's pretty amazing what they were able to do with such a low budget. Clearly, the thing that makes it so good is that the acting is really it's really good. It's just a guy and his son, and I think they killed it for the most part. There's some really creepy imagery. Like it's genuinely creepy to me. I was really into it. There's like they move into this house and then they hear from the other locals around the area that there's like a general story of how there was the woman who lived there before was a witch. Or, like, these kids grew up around this house and they believed that she was a witch. And
Baba Yaga.
That's all you got to know. It's your standard haunting story, and things just happen and they're creepy sometimes. Some really genuinely good scares in that movie. So for the most part, I liked it. Like I only gave it a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and that doesn't mean that I didn't. It's not good. I have no idea what that was.
That was weird.
There's just a really loud noise outside my place.
Okay. Speaking of witches in the window.
Okay, yeah. So, I don't know. If you got a Shudder account, I encourage you. If you're into that slow burn kind of haunting story, and you're like looking for something kind of creepy, Courtney and I watched it on a Sunday morning, and it was exactly what we wanted. So yeah, we dug it. Not amazing, but it's something to watch, and it's something decent. It's on Shudder. The other one I watch is Satanic Panic. Have you guys heard about this?
Yeah, and this is one I have my eye on. So.
Yeah, so it's
Is this another one about Norwegian black metal?
No, nothing. No,
really?
Yeah, I know you're surprised because that's my thing this year.
That's your thing.
Like you gotta still watch Lords of Chaos.
Yeah, I know.
You'll love Lords of Chaos. Lords of Chaos, and what was the other one? Metalhead was really good too. Metalhead's on Shudder as well, along with Kuso. But Satanic Panic was directed by Chelsea Stardust. It stars AJ Bowen of You're Next. He's in The Sacrament and House of the Devil. And it also has Jerry O'Connell. Do you guys remember Jerry O'Connell from the 90s?
Kangaroo Jack?
Yeah, Kangaroo Jack. Yeah. Kangaroo Jack. Oh my god. Yeah, it's an independent horror comedy that's picking up some steam. I rented it on... I've been renting a lot of movies on PlayStation Network.
Oh, yeah?
Because...
It's convenient.
So let's level with this shit here. We always want to support things. But it's become fucking hard if you want to watch a movie to actually find it. It's easier to find it illegally than legally. Like,
legit, yeah.
I wish I could have... Like, I subscribe to Crave, Shudder, Netflix, and... Amazon Prime, and like, man, I would love to have an app like a video store where I could rent movies if I wanted to.
Or Redbox, remember that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure is it dead now? Because who the fuck goes to a grocery store?
I haven't seen a Redbox in Canada.
There's like one
there was
left
the one
somewhere.
In Confederation Safeway, they might still have one.
But even like, I rented off of iTunes. I remember I rented Train to Busan on iTunes, and it drove me fucking crazy because I had to, like, I was having trouble like getting it from my computer to my TV.
And that's the main reason why, like, that's always been a big deterrent to me, because I don't, like, I just don't have the means or the patience or like the space to do that.
Yeah.
So like I'd rather just, like, use some kind of app that's already on my PS4 to do so, rather than download it on iTunes and then plug it into my TV.
Yeah.
So that's why, sometimes I rent things on PlayStation Store as well.
Yeah, like I've just started doing it. Like, and we rented. Also, this is not horror, but I'm gonna give it a quick shout out. We watched The Long Shot the other night. With Seth Rogen and Charlize Theron. Yeah. It's fucking awesome. It was so funny. We loved it. Like, that's my favorite comedy since Game Night. I really like Game Night, but like, comedies just... There's not a lot of great comedies out there right now, but The Long Shot is pretty great if you like Seth Rogen, and Charlize Theron is the most gorgeous woman on earth. But yeah, Satanic Panic it's an independent horror comedy. I see a lot of people giving it some love, so I don't feel bad in saying that I didn't really like it. For me, it was just one of those horror comedies that just didn't land with me. That being said, there's a couple scenes, like specifically one with Jerry O'Connell, that is fucking actually hysterical. Like, there's some really funny scenes, and it's a really goofy movie. Like, it's this satanic cult. It's like all these rich people who order pizza so that they like. A woman who's delivering pizza one night ends up at a place that is like trying to summon Baphomet. So like, it's pretty funny in that regard, and like she just so happens to also be a virgin, and they need a virgin, and like that's funny. So there's a couple of really good things in there. There's some good stuff there, and I know I think I still feel confident in recommending it to people if you're looking for like a solid indie horror comedy. Things that it just was one of those movies that it kind of pulled me out because I kept on feeling like I'm like, I know it's a movie, but it really feels like a movie. You know what I mean? Like when you watch those movies where it just like it feels like they're making a movie. Yeah. So it's hard to get invested in it for me because like I always felt that the actors were given lines that kind of shot themselves in the foot. Like one of these like really hot girls mentioned, she starts talking about, she's referencing H.R. Giger and stuff like that from like Alien and stuff like that. I'm like, you don't
know anything about it.
Like she's like not only making a reference to Alien, and I know that sounds sexist, but it means that this type of person wouldn't know about H.R. Giger's artwork.
Yeah. Other than,
and she's comparing it to a dildo. So that double, if you want to say that I'm sexist because she's like, you do that work yourself. But I definitely didn't really do much for me. It's a
Fangoria movie, right? Or is
yeah, it is a Fangoria.
Because I've been seeing this one being pushed for a while because I follow Fangoria on Instagram and Facebook, and I don't know, it just I kind of want to see it because of how badly or how much it was being pushed. I don't know. I like satanic imagery and stuff. So I
love Satan. I still say check it out 100%. Yeah. Like I got it $7 on the PlayStation Network. Yeah. So check it out there. We can go on to it now if you want. I had a couple more that I'm actually gonna save because I feel like I'm rambling. So
you want to do that one?
I'll save them for next week.
Okay. We both went to see It 2 on opening night last Thursday.
So It Chapter 2, we're gonna do a completely spoiler-free review. Boozy, what's your experience been like with this? Like, have you been talking to people about it?
Not really.
Have you seen people talking about it?
Yeah, I did talk to like 2 people about it, and everyone seems pretty okay with it. I don't know. I'm not getting back like an insane reaction out of it.
For me, it's like the most divisive film in discussion in a long time. Like, for the most part, I'm seeing nothing but hate.
Really?
People fucking hated this movie. Did you?
No, it was fine. I mean, I liked the first one, but I wasn't like obsessed. I feel like a lot of people were obsessed about the first one.
You really liked the first one when we walked out.
It was fun. Yeah, they're both fun. Do I think that they're amazing horror movies? They're not great horror movies. If we're talking about just horror stuff, they especially the second one tramples so lightly in it actually being a horror movie. I could feel the build up for all the scares too, and fucking jump scares still get me, and it never worked for me that whole time. Whereas like even like Crawl got me a couple times.
Yeah, Crawl got me like crazy.
Good fucking movie.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like it switched its agenda to being a growing up story real fast, I found. Because Pennywise became more or less like a break from an actual interesting, like if they got rid of Pennywise's character and it was just like a Degrassi episode, it would have worked. It felt like Pennywise broke up interesting stories about people because he wanted to spook them for 2 seconds. I don't know, like it felt like all the times when Pennywise was around was the least interesting parts for me.
I can't disagree with you there. Like, I think some of the best, like, I think without a doubt, like, because this is early on in the movie, and especially if you've read the book or if you've seen their original 1990 TV adaptation, I think the best scene in the movie is the Chinese food restaurant, like where you're getting to know the Losers Club as adults and everything. But I don't, like, for me, I don't know what, like, we talked about this a little bit last episode, that I just don't know if it's the place in my life where I'm at, where I'm having trouble, like, really loving things. But for the most part, I really, really enjoyed it. Like, I liked it. The thing is, I have so many issues with it. Like, so many. Like, there's flaws galore in this movie. Like, I can understand where a lot of the hate's coming from. But at the end of the day, it's still like, I don't know, it's still, I was entertained the entire time, and I didn't feel the 3-hour length. Like, it's a 3-hour fucking movie. But I didn't feel
I've heard like a lot of people criticizing it because of that. And
yeah, and I know, but the thing is also, your guys' stupid lives go on forever. Who cares? That's not fair, because I, like, in Midsummer, it was like 2 hours and 20 minutes, 2 hours and a half, and I was like, fuck, cut 45 minutes.
Well, and then some movies, like when they're that long, it doesn't feel like it if you're enjoying it that much. Like Endgame, for example, did not feel like God damn it.
No, it really
did not feel like a 3-hour movie to me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. But similar to Endgame, I feel like as far as horror movies go, this is for sure the biggest scale horror movie that we've gotten.
Oh yeah,
maybe ever.
since the first
But
one.
it's so easy to market
it's
that
fucking
sort of
huge,
stuff.
man. Like this movie, like there's so much movie here. Like there's so many scenes that are just like crazy. But I rewatched the original 1990 version and the 2017 version. And I've talked about it on the show before. I think even on that episode, I've already told you, Boozy, but I'm going to talk about it here just for shits and giggles. But like I've always said that I'm like, 2017 is a better movie than the TV movie. But I've always liked Tim Curry's Pennywise more. Man, I don't know. Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise is fucking awesome in so many scenes. And was I scared at any point in this series? In one or two? Zero. Not at all. I'm a full-grown man. It's like different things
Clowns don't scare me.
Well, different things scare different people. Just because it's not scary to me doesn't mean it's not a good movie. And I think that the first one is a really solid movie. And I feel like I'm in the minority where I liked... It, too, had way more issues, but I think I liked it more than one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you're going to dig it. Like,
I'm planning on seeing it hopefully next week. So, yeah.
I also think the reason I might like it more is because I was conditioned and warned about how fucking horrible CGI is.
Oh, yeah?
With the first one, because there is horrible CGI in the first one, too. But like this one, it's like, man, if you've read the book or you know anything about Pennywise or like the story of it, there's so many huge things that happen in this movie in the story that they like. How would they pull this off without CGI? That being said, there's some times where it looks good, and then there's some times where it honestly feels like Green Lantern, Ryan Reynolds. Like it's like there's some like it's like distractingly bad. This movie's gonna age horribly.
Oh yeah.
It's like the CGI is going to age horribly.
That's too bad.
But the thing is, the fucking Losers Club, they're awesome. Like I loved all the adults. I felt really sentimentally connected to a few of them, and I loved that they dug deeper and even strayed from the book in a couple parts, with keeping the characters fresh and like kind of feeling like modernizing them. And I don't know, the CGI, it pulled me out a lot, and even the scenes that weren't CGI, it felt like they were really amazing practical effects that were completely thrown out the window because they're just covered with CGI. Like, what's the point? We talked about Annabelle Comes Home, the new Annabelle movie. They built like a full-on werewolf suit and somehow found a way to make it look completely animated.
Yeah.
So like that's the kind of shit that you will see here, and I know people are complaining about it. For me, it just, and you know, I still really liked it, but it's got a lot of CGI.
Yeah. I'll definitely say though, is like I've been thinking a lot about this lately. Is that this year hasn't been great for me. There's not a ton of things I'm happy about, but there was an homage in there's an homage in it to The Thing, and both me and Mitch sat forward in our chairs and looked at each other and like,
what the fuck?
That's like the moments you live for when you're watching a horror movie. When someone else can it was just like brainwaves. It was like, we need to just connect eye to eye right now.
I remember looking over and thinking, you seeing this?
Like stuff like that. It's the best part of horror when you can actually connect with people, because we always talk about how horror is such like a loners kind of thing, but it was like so cool to have a moment like that it made the movie better for me. Whether I genuinely enjoyed it or not is a different thing, but it was fun. But I do understand though that they definitely are capitalizing and were capitalizing at the time on the whole Stranger Things phenomenon.
This was in production before that came out, though.
But like,
and
it's how it all came out at the same time.
Yeah,
that you get
topical.
That like, you get that whole, oh yeah, it's more kids being kids. Like everyone loves being kids.
Yeah,
do you remember I miss being a kid. That's what I got so much.
That's what a lot of like movies were capitalizing on over the last couple of years. Like,
I'm not saying
that part one.
This is the only one.
No, and because the book was written 30 years
Yeah.
ago, but it just how it happens to be coming out now. You know, obviously you have to make comparisons to Stranger Things and all the other things that are doing this right now. But I think that's why I connected with this one more, because it's very heavy on the comedy. Very heavy.
That's what I've heard.
There's a couple times where I think that the movie suffers because of it, because specifically one where a song just starts playing while something's happening.
The most jarring thing
completely deflates the scene. It's like you actually were building up a good scene, and then this happens, and it's
but it doesn't last for long enough.
But people in the theater were laughing.
Well,
I
it's
didn't
because
laugh.
it's so jarring though.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, like, I understand where they were coming at with the comedy aspect, but it didn't go on long enough to fully make it a joke, and it started too soon for it to be a joke either. It was so out of place. It's like somebody had like an MP3 track that they'd forgot to like
Take out.
and
It felt so out of place.
yeah.
So
The only other problem I have though is that, like, I did feel like Bill Hader's character stole from everyone else,
Yeah.
and that's no fault of his own. Like, he's a very good actor, but it feels like they went like, we want to have more funny scenes in here. Let's keep giving Bill Hader more and more things.
They knew that he was the most interesting character, and they capitalized on it hard.
Yeah, but they do have a main story in this that is very interesting and can be very relatable to a lot of people. And it felt like they kept turning that story away, because there are like love interests in this movie and that sort of thing. And they threw away a lot of that to give Bill Hader more funny lines.
Not only that, but they created more to his storyline to make him even more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so there's like all of these characters, and it's like, okay, so you took the one that people like look at the most, the one that people obviously connect to and love because he's funny, and then you add even more to his story but less to everyone else.
Yeah, like a lot of people got pushed out of the way, including
he's so good at it though. Like he was
very
fucking awesome, and just a perfect Richie. Like, you know who we're talking about?
Yes,
like,
of
yeah.
course.
Yeah, so I don't know. I totally get where you're coming from, but I just loved him. But where I was getting at with that is that, like, you know, we're not kids anymore, and I think this is one of the first times where I really connected to the whole idea of phasing into adulthood. You know, I feel like I've grown up always relating to the teenagers or the kids in movies, and it was a different experience for me to relate to the adults more and understand where they're at in their lives. And like, I'm going through some shit with my job and my mental health and all this shit, and it all clicked with me in this movie. So I feel like I got a connection to this movie that you don't get all the time. So
this is your growing up movie, or your
of age.
grown up movie.
Coming of age. Say it with me.
Coming.
No, but yeah, like there were a couple things I didn't like. Honestly, if you were to look at my notes, it'd be like, man, Mitch hated this movie because it's all negative. But I can say that I liked it, but I feel like they could have cut the whole Henry Bowers thing.
Yep.
That was like so incredibly pointless, and like they spent a lot of time on that. That could have shaved off a half an hour right there, and it would have affected the story in zero ways. The de-aging was pretty distracting, and how they sped up everyone's voices, or like specifically Eddie's. Like, that's all shit that you see in the trailer even. Just knowing that these kids are obviously older now, and they could have shot these. A lot of those scenes feel like they should have been. It feels like they are like, oh shit, we forgot to do this in the first one, so they're like, let's stuff it in this chapter 2. So like, that's the thing, is this is one where like I can see a lot of people's criticisms. I'm like, oh yeah, I get it, because like that makes sense. But also, you're being a little hard on it. Like, I think this is not a bad movie. And, like, a lot of people are saying that that's genuinely bad. Okay, one last thing I want to talk about, and then we can just move on from this, is that, how'd you feel about the opening scene?
That's something I had a huge problem with, because there was no resolve at any point. And for
There
something
is,
like
though.
that, there should have been resolve right at the start.
But
no, you should have had an instant with something that graphic.
They went a little over the top, but also like that happens in the book.
I understand. No,
So we're talking about a scene that's at the very beginning. Are you okay with us talking about this? Yep. It's at the very beginning. It's in the book. The whole world is like, well, actually, some people are making a big deal about it, and it's that there's a very graphic, violent scene with 2 gay dudes getting attacked at a fair. And so it's something that Stephen King wanted to include in the movie. So I agree that they should have made the reasoning for that a lot more clear. They fucked up in like not making it way more clear, but at the same time, like that's what the first chapter was all about, like how Pennywise takes control over shitty people, and how he's attracted to Derry because it's a butthole town, is a complete piece of shit scum town, and it shows how like he had control over Henry Bowers and all of his friends, and how he feeds on evil and preys on fear, and that's why he did what he did to like it's a brutal scene. There's no other way to put it, but I think I'm just going to say that out of everyone that I've seen complaining about it online, 100% of them are straight people. Like 100%.
I don't, but I think it would be, my problem with it is you're giving certain people who go to these kind of movies the wrong idea, because I can very easily see certain people being happy about that intro because they're pieces of shit. Now, it doesn't have to do with just being one specific thing. If you added any other sort of like, even like you go like a minority, any sort of visible minority, and put that scene in, it's like when you watch like American History X and you see what happens in that film, especially at the start, it's very graphic, but
There's
by
a
the
resolve.
end there's enough of resolve that makes you go, okay, that whatever at the start was not justified. Do you know what I mean? Like, there wasn't that clear resolve.
I agree with you, but I think that it was there too. Like, it's the one of the main characters is battling with his sexuality his entire life, and the whole, like, it's spoilers if I talk about like anymore, but like how they defeat him is by taking his power away, and like it's such a clear plot line throughout the entire movie that this is like sexuality is a big part of this, and like why I think that obviously we don't see those guys directly get fucking annihilated like they should.
That's what it needed.
And I think that if they would have done that, a lot of people would have been a lot happier. But I think they probably didn't put enough thought into that. But I think, I don't know, for me, it was just like, yeah, it was horrible. Like, do you want that scene to be pleasant?
Maybe my caveman brain was just like blood for blood the whole time. But like, I never got that. And I think that's sometimes what is justified in certain films.
Yeah, they, especially for something that's like so huge, like where so many people are going to go to.
Because kids are going to see this. Honestly, a lot of kids are going to see this.
Yeah, but they're also going to see how their favorite character is gay.
That's fine.
No,
but they don't like it. This is a whole other, because he never goes deep enough for it to be like, oh, really?
I think it's pretty clear.
It's not. It's too implied and not enough physically.
There's like 20 minutes of scenes explaining it.
Unless he's fucking smooching dudes on the lips.
There's the bar mitzvah. There's the arcade scene. There's so much, and I think. But the thing is, you're not conditioned to think that because you don't have those ideas when they're kids in the first one, you know? So it is something new. So I totally understand. I understand the certain complaints to it, but I also think that it says a lot where, like, there's a lot of LGBT websites and everything, and, like, just forums where they're coming out to bat for this movie, because, like, there's actually some pretty hilarious... Out.com, which is an LGBT website, posted a review, or they posted an article saying, like, how unfortunately it's been revealed that Pennywise is anti-queer, because they're talking about how he was at one point in a relationship with the Babadook a couple of years ago, and the whole thing is just like it's making fun of people who are just like boycotting the movie or like getting fucking mad about, like, that sounds so bad, but like, because I'm not even meaning it that way. It's just that it's pissing people off. It's pissing people off, rightfully so in some ways, but I think that we gotta, you know, dig into the conversation a little bit before we completely just write off people.
It's fine to have that conversation, but if it's going to be that graphic and have no immediate response to it, that's where it's a problem for me. Yeah. You're basically seeing people get like curb stomped, and I don't want to have...
It's a brutal...
Yeah, I don't want to have to wait 2 hours and 53 minutes to go... Hey, I guess they kind of did get their comeuppance in the end.
It puts a real sour taste in your mouth for the rest of the movie. Eh? Yeah. No, that's a fair criticism, and it's, you know, obviously everyone has their own opinions.
So like if people aren't offended by it, sure, why not? It was just for me. It felt like a lot.
It was a lot. It's a brutal scene,
especially for a movie where you don't see that much violence or gore towards a lot of the other characters, where a lot of it's implied. To see a full-on assault is weird that they chose that to be the most graphic scenes in the movie.
I'm surprised that they included it to begin with, to be honest, but Stephen King wanted it included because it is based off a real case that he like lived through, and that's why he wrote it in the book, because it affected him so much. And also Stephen King is probably the most popular, he is one of the world's biggest authors, and he has countless gay characters in his books, and he has countless main characters who are gay, and there's so many things that are dealing with sexuality and knowing yourself in his books, that I think that to say that he's a homophobe is insane. Like,
nobody's like, I'm not saying that.
Dude, look, like, there are websites like Variety. I think Variety posted one. There's some like really big websites where they're saying that he's a homophobe, and they sending a message, And it's just like, no. No. This is just like a little bit of sloppy filmmaking, which we should know because it's the guy who made Mama. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we can move on from that if you want. So if you want to go into news?
Sure.
All right. We'll be back with... So, Boozy, can you hit me with some motherfucking newsies?
No, I want to say it for the last time. You stop recording?
Okay. Nope.
Boozy, hit me with that goddamn fucking news.
Oh, it's time for super duper news time.
And just a heads up, first thing in news is that we're going to save questions of the week for next week. Because this is Diego's episode, and like the stuff that we have here is going to take too long. So you guys have an extra week to write Mitch and Guillermo fan fiction if you want
anyone
to.
hasn't got on it, you still can. Also, there was we also had a question about making an artist do the soundtrack for a movie you'd like.
Yeah,
I remember Jason Hamill actually had a good one he sent to me.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay, so
wait,
now
what's
let's
this
get...
question?
Okay, so my question was, if you could have any artist or band score a movie that you already like re-score a movie, what would it be? And the thing that came immediately to mind for me was Dillinger Escape Plan doing Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer.
Oh, fuck, that'd be insane.
Like, I would watch it. Like, because we were talking about how there's a new score for Evil Dead, and like it's going to be playing and everything like that. So
that's cool.
Do you have something off the top of your head?
Yeah, I don't know why I thought of this off the top of my head, but wait, what's his name? Why this is killing me? That his name on the tip of my tongue. It's super... Who's the vocalist and guy of Oingo Boingo?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, no, not him.
Why? No, why am I?
Why am I blanking on this?
Danny Elfman. Danny Elfman.
Okay, I want Danny Elfman to rescore The Guest.
Wow, no, that's a perfect score. The Guest is a perfect score.
No, I know. I just want to see how much of the tone of the movie would change, and like what would happen. Like the scene when he rolls the grenades. I would love to just hear like Oingo Boingo. I think that would be amazing.
I'd like to see Danny Elfman score any movie.
That's the thing. Like I just want Danny Elfman to score everything.
Danny Elfman scores Schindler's List.
That'd be great.
Or what was it? Jacob's Ladder, even.
Like or Danny Elfman scoring The Boy in Striped Pajamas.
I've never seen that movie.
No, it's a Holocaust movie.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the most depressing movies possible.
Hotel Rwanda.
Oh yeah, scored by Danny Elfman. Jesus Christ. Elephant or Bowling for Columbine.
Oh.
All right, your turn. Do some news, Booze.
Okay. We're going to be getting a short film from Colin Trevorrow. It is actually a small kind of quote-unquote sequel to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. So it's basically taking part... It's its own little thing that's taking part after it, and it's called Battle at Big Rock. And
so it's in the Jurassic Park extended universe.
Yeah, it's like after all the dinosaurs escape at the end of Fallen Kingdom, a family basically goes camping at Big Rock National Park, and they encounter a bunch of dinosaurs. So that's all we have right now. And Colin Trevorrow, obviously, who'd done the other two Jurassic World films, is doing this one as well.
J.A. Bayona did the second one.
Sorry, yes, he did the first one, but he helped write the second one, and he's directing this one and helped write this one.
Well, at least it'll only be a short film.
You know what? I like that idea of a family going camping and all of a sudden like having to fight off a velociraptor or something.
But who knows if it's going to go that direction? I'd like to see that, but the opening of Bad Moon.
There we go.
That's what I would like.
They'll probably end up just petting like a stegosaurus or something.
Or the daughter will, if they got
baby?
kids, the daughter will start talking in Velociraptor.
Yeah. There's talks that James Wan's next film, which is tentatively titled "quote-unquote" Silver Cup, is going to be Giallo film. So that would be really interesting to see James Wan doing a Giallo film.
That would be awesome. Have you watched Aquaman yet?
No, I haven't seen Aquaman yet.
I watched it for the second time the other day. It's so good. It's so good. Sorry.
That's okay. And the next Resident Evil game is a spin-off called Project Resistance, and it's a team-based survival multiplayer horror game.
And it's going to be bad.
It looks awful. I watched the trailer for it.
I don't know anything about this.
So it just got announced like yesterday or 2 days ago. They only have... It's just a cinematic trailer, right? Yeah. So no gameplay yet.
No gameplay.
But it's basically from what it's...
It's Resident Evil?
Yes, but... Do you remember Raccoon City?
Yeah, Operation Raccoon City.
Operation Raccoon City, or even Umbrella Corps that was released like 3 years ago.
What's the Code Veronica?
Code Veronica was fine.
Yeah.
But like this, like I don't know, game.
Oh, Operation Raccoon. Yeah, that one was fucking garbage.
Resident Evil games built from the ground up to be multiplayer. especially like squad-based multiplayer, never turn out good.
No.
And you know, with the success of Resident Evil 7 and the Resident Evil 2 Resident Evil 2 remake
was so good.
You know, they had such momentum, and I think they're dropping the ball with this.
Yeah, it's too bad because I thought that they were going to put their energy into remaking Nemesis.
Well, yeah, and a couple of weeks ago, Capcom announced that they had filed like a trademark for a new Resident Evil game, and like they had mentioned that they're working on a new one, and I'm hoping that this isn't it. I'm hoping like this is just something else they're doing.
Yeah, because they always do these little like I don't even consider these as real Resident Evil games.
No, I don't either. Even though they are like they're not
yeah.
canon anyways, but like I just man, Operation Raccoon City was fucking horrible, and Brawler Core was even worse. So this game, I don't know. Like I would be cool if there was a successful like squad based Resident Evil game, but I don't think this is going to be it. This ain't it, Chief.
It looks like they took the idea from like Left 4 Dead because it's just random people stuck in a room together, and then you have one player playing as your like the villain character you have to fight the entire
tyrant,
time.
the cyber tyrant,
and he like controls all these other things that get sent out. So he's like a commander, but then sometimes he can become certain things.
It's like an asymmetrical multiplayer game. It's the same the vein as like Dead by Daylight or Friday the 13th or the Predator game.
It does not look good, and all we've seen is that cinematic, and I'm just like, no, I'm not interested.
I'm not on board.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing.
No, I'm waiting for the one that I know is gonna come.
It's coming. We got another trailer for The Lighthouse, extended trailer with Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson.
I haven't watched it.
It looks incredible.
I don't want to watch anymore.
Even more on this film.
I can't fucking wait for that.
Okay,
I can't wait.
The whole thing, like it gives you a lot of the same you got from the first trailer, but it has on the undertone of it is Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe just yelling at each other, and it gets louder and louder as the trailer goes on. It gets faster. It's actually really cool.
I can't fucking wait for that. How excited are you for that, Diego?
Not even a single bit.
Well, you didn't like The Witch?
Though, I don't know. I still need to watch. I want to watch a trailer for this because I have like I don't know. I like the art style of it,
And it's a Cthulhu.
and I know, and I like Robert Pattinson, and I like Willem Dafoe. So I'll watch a trailer and judge it. But other than that, I don't give a fuck.
Like, no, that's understandable. The extended director's cut of Ari Aster's Midsummer will only exclusively be available on Apple TV.
Who the fuck wants
AKA, it'll be streaming everywhere online where you can find illegal ways.
But I don't understand this move at all.
Who the fuck wants more of that movie?
But, okay,
it's a good movie, but who the fuck wants more?
You actually had mentioned this earlier in the
Here's
episode
10 more mushroom
about
trips.
how it's harder and harder to access things because they're on so many different things, and having this come out as an exclusive for just Apple TV. I don't know that many people have Apple TV. I have an iPhone and I've always had an iPhone, and even I find Apple's products to be really fucking annoying to use.
An ex-girlfriend of mine once offered to buy me Apple TV. Like, I didn't have to pay for it all. She just wanted to buy it for me for my birthday. I said no.
Oh, I would love Apple TV.
I just don't use it.
I just feel like this is like when fucking Kanye went over to Adidas.
Oh, right.
I don't know where I'm going here. I'm obviously getting into the deeps.
That's what I like.
Checks overstretched. Sorry. Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't give a fuck because I want to watch that movie again, but I want a reduced cut. I want them to take out 55 of the 3,000 drug trips.
I want more Man and Bear.
Yeah, like there's so much of that movie that's good, but I want them to trim it down. I want them to circumcise it a little bit.
We had the Blair Witch game came out since our last episode.
So we were talking about this off air.
Let's
not pretend like we weren't. Boozy, tell us about what you know about this. Because for all I've heard is good things so far, but I've also not been on the internet for a couple days.
Yeah, the game itself is all right. Just from, like, I didn't play it myself. Or, sorry, I actually did play like 20 minutes. But my roommate was mostly playing it. And I just hung out and watched because it was obviously something I'm interested in. So I sat around and watched it. And it seems like a fine enough idea or game. And they had good ideas for it. But the engine itself is really broken. And that's not just from watching him play it where things have been... Like, there's one point where he's like, my dog disappeared for like 30 minutes. I had to shut the game off and reload it because the game was just like, your dog's gone. The data is gone for that. And I read quite a bit of reviews online of people having the same sort of issues. They're like, a lot of people would get stuck in certain areas or certain things the mechanics mechanic wouldn't work properly, so you just kept having to reload the game. I know the dog had a lot of issues with that, where it sometimes, because it uses it as a detection system, and a lot of times the dog wouldn't work properly. So it seems like a fine game that will probably get patched eventually to be a better product, but at the start it kind of limped out of the gates.
Yeah, hopefully they patch it up, and by the time I'm able to pick up another, because I want another Xbox One. I sold mine, and I wish I didn't. I only sold it because all my homies play on PS4. But I really, I loved my Xbox One, and I really want to play this game. But, obviously Friday the 13th game had an incredible amount of problems when it was launched. And even after all was said and done and all was fixed, it was it's still, it's just a kind of glitchy game, but it's a lot of fun. And I don't know, this looked awesome though. I had high hopes for the Blair Witch game.
Yeah, I still
IGN gave it 8.7.
Yeah, it's getting good reviews.
Yeah.
But I have heard it does have a lot of performance issues. But again, that is something that can be patched. It just sucks that it's something that happened in the first place, because this game wasn't even announced that long ago. I think it was this year at E3, when it was first announced. It hasn't.
Whoever consistently holds the rights for
Blair Witch
does not know how to market. They're just throw the shit out there.
Yeah. I think they think that they know marketing very well.
It's the most cavalier marketing ever. It's maybe it's out.
We're gonna drop. Yeah, maybe we'll drop this. Maybe we won't.
Going on from that, we got another trailer for Terminator, as well as talks that if this movie does well, this will be part of a new trilogy. From all the original trailers when this movie first came out, when this movie came out, it didn't look good.
I don't think it didn't look bad. It just didn't do it. You and me are huge Terminator fans. Are you a Terminator?
I like
fan?
Terminator.
Okay, so this is an event this year that we're getting, and even we've been burnt how many times? How many times have we been fucking burnt? But the trailer before, it was it looks okay.
The first trailers I thought were just meh.
But we saw the new trailer.
We saw the new
trailer, and it looks fucking awesome.
It sold me 100% on it because it went from being very lukewarm, I've seen this movie before.
But have you seen the new poster? The new poster is god fucking awful, atrocious. It is so bad.
Can't be worse than the new Star Wars one.
You don't like the one with Chancellor in the background?
They literally used a toy figurine and took the face from that and edited it onto there. They're legit. There's photos of the toy it's based off.
So here's the thing. I too think that it sucks, but I'm jaded, I'm obligated to love it. But I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, this isn't the real poster.
The best version of that poster is one Jason Hamill made.
With me in the background.
That's fucking awesome.
Listen to my podcast and hear a spoiler-free review. Jason's the best.
All right, and the last piece of news, I saved it for last because I kind of do want to talk about it.
Now that we've had time to let your fury simmer.
Yeah. We got our first trailer for Black Christmas.
The Blumhouse produced Black Christmas remake that's coming out in December. Did you see the trailer?
I haven't watched it because I just saw everyone talking about it. I was like, man, I don't know, it's so unnecessary in the first place. I don't even know if I want to even acknowledge its existence.
I agree that it's I agree it's completely unnecessary, but I had hopes that it would be and even as much as I don't how I like it, but I shit on the Halloween remake a little bit. The one that I spent the last 5 years worshiping and being so excited for. I was kind of hoping that they'd go in that direction, even just a little bit. Going back to the source.
Acknowledge that they'd actually seen the first one?
Yeah, it's okay. So this is fucking bad.
this is Black Christmas bad. In name, and that's it.
This is Black Xmas looks better than this. Man, and there's I've talked to a couple of people who are saying that they're it doesn't look that bad. I'm like, hey, if this wasn't even to me, this is no different than a Truth or Dare. Mm-hmm. It was if this was Truth or Dare, and even Escape Room, a movie that I had no interest in seeing, I was maybe I'll check it out. If I'm not busy that weekend, I'm gonna go to the movies and I'll see Escape Room. And I did, and I ended up being hey, you know what? It sucks, but it's also
we've always said it's fine.
It sucks, but it's kind of fun too. And that's what this Black Christmas would be. And everyone's being well, you don't know that the movie's going to end that way because of blah, 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 blah. It's no, they give away the entire fucking movie. Let's be honest here. Do we believe that this lineup of sorority girls saying, "You fucked with the wrong sorority," is going to be at the beginning of the movie. And they show that there's like, it looks like the Joshua Jackson, Paul Walker vehicle, The Skulls. Do you remember the movie The Skulls? It looks like that mixed with like the Scream MTV TV show. And I'm not meaning that as a, because I know you like it, but you got to admit that it looks like they're like, okay, Billy's got a mask now. It's all black. And he wears a cape. And he stabs people with icicles. Yeah. Like, it looks... And the thing is, I love Imogen Poots. I love Imogen Poots. I think she's awesome. This movie looks fucking awful. It doesn't have a single thing to do with Black Christmas. And, like, I was hopeful that maybe this would be a movie that would kind of... Like, even Evil Dead. Like, do I want them to make the same movie again? Fuck no. I know that's what you want, but I don't. I want them to, like, look at what they did with Evil Dead. Like, the remake of Evil Dead. That's the best possible way you can treat a remake. But the thing is, for people who are saying that they like when they try something different, yeah, no, I love that too. But this is entirely different. There's nothing here that's Black Christmas. Like, the fact that the fucking slasher is in 90% of the trailer is enough to say, this is not my Black Christmas.
That ruins the whole point.
Yeah, like the reason why that movie is like, that's why you can't even, I wouldn't even call Black Christmas a slasher movie, because you don't see the slashing happening. You don't see the character. It's nothing like this. And we already got the bad slasher version of this, and I'm gonna watch it this year. I love Black Xmas is a fun piece of shit. Like, it is a terrible movie, but it's kind of fun. This just looks like they're like trying to pull a fucking title, being like, hey, this has Christmas in the title. Let's get teenagers out to it. Yeah, this does not say, hey, fans of Black Christmas, we're gonna try something and like do something cool with it. They're not doing that.
I don't understand at any point why they would say, like, okay, we're going to do this other Black Christmas, and it's going to be not a shred like anything else. Because, yes, everyone likes when things try new variations of things, but also the fact, if you call something one thing and then do a complete bait and switch, which is exactly what this is. This is like, I actually had like an idea of what this is to me, is if I went somewhere and I was like, I want a chocolate milkshake, and they gave me a strawberry one, and I'm like, well, this is strawberry, and they're like, no, this is called chocolate, and I'm like, no, but it's strawberry. They're like, and I was like, have you ever tried a strawberry milkshake? And they're like, no, but this is strawberry. That's what it's like. Have you ever seen Black Christmas? No, but this is Black Christmas.
Yeah, it's true though.
It pissed me off so much, and the thing is, like, this was what I was waiting all year for, and like, just seeing the trailer alone, like, upset me so deeply.
Dude, you sent me a text message being like, it's here, all in caps lock, and you sent me the trailer, and then I remember I stopped, and I
instantly watched it as soon as
I can't describe how awful the last couple of weeks of work have been for me, but like, I was like, hey, I'm taking 5 minutes. So I haven't taken a lunch break in a month, and I'm taking 5 minutes to watch this, and I move over, and I'm sitting there, and I press play, and I'm watching it, and I'm just like, oh boy, I'm like, Boozy's gonna love this. I thought that you were gonna love it, because it's like, this is exactly, if this was called something else, I bet you would have been like, yeah, whatever, it's a slasher movie, it could be fun. But you have every right to be angry about it being called. And I'm here to.
I totally agree that when you're like, you totally like this if it was something else. If it was something else, yes, this looks like a Jamie Blanks movie.
Yeah, it does.
And do I like Jamie Blanks movies? Sure, but do I like Jamie Blanks movies if they're gonna be fucking Halloween or Black Christmas or Texas Chainsaw? No, I don't want that.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, is I think people don't know Black Christmas enough yet to understand that it's actually better than all those movies. Like, it's Black Christmas is like the best of its kind.
Yeah, and like, since you exposed it to me, whatever, was a year? Or
did you actually only watch it for the first time a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's like quickly become like one of my. It's top 5 for sure. Of my favorite movies.
It's an incredible movie.
They should have called this movie Holiday Havoc.
But they probably should have. Yeah.
Holiday Havoc. Yeah. But Diego bought me Black Christmas on Blu-ray.
That's super fucking cool. Like,
yeah, I have 5 copies of this movie.
But I don't know. And then there's that whole thing, like, when they did that whole you mess with the wrong sorority host thing, I understand that that's a trend that movies have gone in the last little while, where it's like, whoever our victims are, we have to empower so much because, Halloween was terrible for, quote unquote, not empowering women, even though they were.
Well, no, that's what they're
just
trying to
follow my
do.
train of thought.
Yeah.
Like the same with like the Friday the 13th. Everyone's like, we want our heroes to be smart and resourceful and stuff, and powerful women, and
That's what
they
they were trying to say that for the new Halloween. They were trying to say that it's Jamie Lee Curtis getting her revenge. It's like, that bitch gets her ass kicked that whole movie.
Yeah, but that's per the course for Halloween movies. Whereas like you're looking at Black Christmas, I don't want to see one where at the end Olivia Hussey gets a shotgun.
No,
that's not the Black Christmas I want. Yeah,
yeah, like they don't need to. Like, they're gonna probably have like a scene where they like shoot Billy.
Step one for me is Billy's not a character.
No,
like you don't
he's
see
a
Billy.
voice.
Like that's step one.
he's like a fucking entity, basically.
What I assumed was going to happen was I was like, okay, well, guaranteed they're going to delve into text messages, which immediately isn't as scary
Tinder.
because you don't have the fucking voice of Billy.
But you have to work that in. You can't just gloss over the fact that phones exist
unless
now.
they're going to set it in the 70s or something like that. But no, it's
Fuck, even the 90s, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Like, because before, what if they do like a weird like red herring where the guy in the mask isn't, they kill him, and then at the end of the movie they're all in the house, and all of a sudden they get a phone call and you hear ring. Like,
why would Billy go ring? Was he a fucking chainsaw?
It's Billy.
Oh, like it makes those weird like no, I can't do it right now because my throat hurts. But like those weird fucking noises.
the guy who made I love like the guy who makes the voices for Billy in the original Black Christmas recorded himself hanging upside down like in a couple of those scenes. Like that just goes to show what they put in, the effort they put into just making a voice. And then this one, it's like, nah. He's gonna have a cool mask, and he's gonna grab an icicle off a house, and he's gonna chase these girls down the street, and he's gonna go after this huge sorority house. It's like, oh yeah, wait, what? Oh, yeah, this happened in 2006. Yes, we already did this, except for we're taking out the jaundice.
Yeah, this
The yellow bastard.
like I said before, is that like I was really hoping that this would change my year around because I feel like this year hasn't been great personally.
Dude, this year it has sucked.
Okay, it isn't just me. Where
No,
I'm
it
like,
has sucked.
if you ask me right now, like, give me a top 10, it's like I don't think I've seen 10 movies that qualify being
I-
top
See, I'm
10.
glad I'm not alone in that, even though I have like different reasons. I'm glad that,
I will say right now that I've actually thought about this, and I know the thing is I tried not saying this because I said it a lot last year, and then the second half of the year ended up kicking major ass.
Yeah.
but like we're in the second half.
That's the
at end of
worrying
the
part
year.
is like we're getting close to October and I'm not excited for anything now
So,
that Black Christmas has dropped. Like,
I'm not doing a top 10. Like I'm doing, like I hopefully will do a top 10, but like I'm gonna do my favorites of the year when we're talking about. But like right now I have 4.
Yeah.
I have 4 things.
Crawl.
Crawl is my number 1.
That's my number one.
Crawl I've enjoyed the most. That's fucking sad.
Let's not take anything away from Crawl, but
No, 'cause
Crawl
it's a
should never
great
be your number 1 movie of the year,
No.
just for what it is.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
that kind of
I
movie that's
agree.
not a number 1.
Yeah, it shouldn't be.
It
But
was
I
a really
really
fucking good movie.
It was.
It was
good.
really good. But I also want to say, just for the people out there who still haven't seen it, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark was really good.
Oh, okay, man,
Still
I
gotta
for-
see it.
I forgot
It's-
that movie was fucking out.
I really liked it. I really liked that movie, and I really liked the Child's Play remake.
So did I. It's surprisingly
I
good.
did- Yeah.
Even the prime example. Sorry, Black Christmas. Child's Play. Child's Play took a core idea or a core premise of the original, and they made it entirely different.
They knew they had to modernize it, and yet still like.
But Chucky
be
you can
kind-
still see
yeah,
as Chucky.
It still had to be faithful because they knew they couldn't like change it because it would be what's the point of doing it?
Yeah.
So that's,
you could still feel that it's a Child's
Yeah,
Play
exactly,
movie. Like
exactly.
you could still feel that's where they got their inspiration from.
Yeah.
And that's what they were working off of. Like if you were to not show me the title of Black Christmas and I watched that trailer, and I just want to say the first time I watched the trailer, what I said to myself was, "Well, that's a bummer." And then Courtney hadn't seen it yet, so I watched it again, and it was on the second time where it really fucking kicked in, where I was like, holy fuck, this looks bad.
Yeah, I texted Mitch. I was like, I have nerd rage. It's like, I understand what Star Wars fans feel like right now.
Yeah, and I said,
Like,
welcome to my life every single day, because I am one of those Star Wars fans.
so fucking angry about that. Anyway, that's all I got for news. If you guys want to go on to our main feature.
Yeah, let's move on to Diego's pick. It's not your pick, but we're going to say it's Diego's last main feature until the next time he's on. Night of the Creeps.
Thrill me.
And welcome to our main feature presentation. The last one with Diego as an official member. Next time you're on is going to be fucking 2035. No,
I'll be alive.
We'll do Spice
none
World
of us will be.
Resurrection.
Yeah, Spice World 2.
This time it's personal.
So today we're talking about Night of the Creeps from 1986, which was directed by our Lord and Savior Fred Decker.
Monsieur Decker.
Written and directed by our Lord and Savior Fred Decker, who went on to write and direct The Monster Squad, an episode of Tales from the Crypt, and RoboCop 3.
And The Predator.
And The Predator, yeah. But and that's what I was saying, is that what I was thinking is his true calling is in the form of writing.
Yeah.
Although any horror fan can attest to both this and The Monster Squad as seminal pieces of genre history. He wrote the cult classic House. Have you guys seen House?
I haven't seen it, but I
I
know the
yes.
poster.
Yeah, I have I got the Waxwork Records vinyl, and I fucking love that movie. It is awesome and it's crazy, and I can't wait to watch it again.
Every time I think about it, there's this Japanese movie, but also
Called House.
Yeah, so I always I picture that, and that movie's that's a trip.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that one, but I've seen House many times, and House 2, which he also wrote, which isn't as good, but it's bonkers. But House 1 is just fucking great.
My favorite one is the one with Hugh Laurie.
I don't know that.
No, it's a joke. You remember the Doctor Show House?
Oh,
With
yes.
Hugh Laurie?
Okay, yeah, I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know that joke.
I thought for sure that one was going to land.
Someone out there listening laughed at
They're
that.
like, haha!
Fred Decker also wrote The Predator, like Diego said, which is that movie that only us liked.
The movie where they want to weaponize autism.
Yeah, I think we're the only three people on Earth. Boozy's a heavy quote, if he actually liked it or not. But I think Diego and I are the other people.
I love that movie.
It's so
I've
good.
seen that movie many times.
So good. So yeah, this is one that we were going to do in the first 5 episodes of the show, because it's one that Diego and I kind of bonded over when we first started really loving horror movies together. Well, talking about horror movies together. And it just so happened to work out that this is going to be Diego's last episode. So Diego, what is Night of the Creeps, and what is it to you? But first, give us a synopsis in the movie.
So, Night of the Creeps, basic synopsis, because you all know that I'm horrible at explaining things anyway. Basically, there is zombies, kind of, that have worms in them. I'm trying to really Cliff Notes this. That have worms in them, and the worms turn people into other zombies. And it basically turns into a fun night out.
At the prom.
It's got a lot of humor in it that honestly stands the test of time to me. Some of it anyway. I don't know. It's got really likable characters in it. One of my favorite 80s movie characters of all time is in this movie, the detective.
Yeah, Tom Atkins.
Yeah, I love his character in this movie. But anyway, no, it's this B movie that. It's a B movie that knows it's a B movie. It's very self-aware.
It's a horror movie made by horror fans who genuinely love horror before horror was cool.
Yeah, and you pick
this
it up.
This is way before horror was
this
cool.
This is what, 86?
Yeah, 86.
Yeah, this movie, even before, not trying to go too much into discussing it fully just yet, but you bring up a good point there, made by people who love horror before it was cool, because even down to the fact there's a character named Sergeant Raimi. The two main characters are their last names are Hooper and
Jason Lively, who plays Chris Romero, who's also Rusty in European Vacation. Steve Marshall, who plays J.C. Hooper, which is John Carpenter Hooper. Jill Whitlow, who plays Cynthia Cronenberg. Wally Taylor, who plays Detective Landis, John Landis. Bruce Sullivan, who plays Sergeant Raimi, and Mr. Miner, the director, which is obviously a play on Steve Miner, and of course the almighty Tom Atkins, who plays Ray Cameron, James Cameron. It's set at Corman University, which is a tribute to Roger Corman, famous cult film director.
Everything in this movie is a reference, but even people.
Normally, I hate it when people do that, because it takes me out of it. But this
movie is self-aware enough.
It belongs here. This is where it's meant to be.
No, it's a super fun movie. It's one of those movies. I first watched this movie with everybody's favorite Paul Panko. This is when I worked at HMV, because he was the one who really started showing me a lot of these older cult movies and stuff.
I don't know Paul at all, but I know he's got good taste in movies.
He has really good taste in movies, and back when when he still lived here, he had he has more movies than anybody I fucking know.
More than me?
Yeah.
He likes taking pictures of tits.
He does.
I know that. he's Diego's friend he's a photographer, and I follow him on Instagram, and all of his pictures are like tits.
Yeah.
And like, but with like blood splatter on them,
Yeah.
like he's
an artist.
yeah,
Is that how I get away with tricking people into this?
Yeah.
he's like the Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run up to somebody on the street and do that. I got this bucket full of blood. You want to get naked and I'll take pictures of you?
Yeah.
I'm an artist.
So I got a camera. I'm a photographer, sir. That is an iPhone 5.
Have you seen the quality of these pictures?
Anyway, no, I love this movie like from the start to finish. The first time I saw it, and I love this movie from start to finish when I just watched it. It's funny. It's got like the best kind of practical effects. It's got like, I love the writing in this movie because it's so self-aware. And like I said, like Tom Atkins, like his character, every fucking time he says anything, I'm always like happy. Just
Tom Atkins, who's famous for he's been in Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, The Fog, Escape from New York, and like countless other like pretty amazing cult films, has said like he's gone on a record and saying that this is his favorite film that he's been a part of.
It's fucking so cool.
Like that's crazy to say that you were a part of The Fog, Escape from New York, and Halloween 3.
And
like
your favorite is Night of the Creeps.
Yeah, but I also kind of agree with him. Like it's man,
just so good.
it's 80. It's pure 80s at its finest state.
Yeah, and no, I think if you haven't seen this movie, you should. Like, there's no reason not to like enjoy it. I don't think. Like,
No, and I will say I picked up finally because I've been wanting to own it for years, and Scream Factory released it on pristine Blu-ray, and the special features are fantastic.
So fucking cool.
There's so many funny things I learned in the making of and the featurettes and everything that make this movie so much funnier. Like, for example, the Bradster.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to talk so much about the Bradster.
So before we talk about him, I just want to point out that he was a method actor.
Wait,
He was
did he
the
go to
Bradster.
Did he go to like a
Apparently, everyone on
fraternity
set
house?
hated him. Like everyone on set hated him. Like the main guy, Jason Lively. He talks about how even till this day, because Jason Lively's been doing conventions, like horror conventions are huge these days, and he has lineups because of this movie and this movie alone. Like people know him from this.
This is the only thing I know him from.
Yeah, and he, but he says like till this day, he's just like, I don't know if the guy's actually a fucking asshole, or he's like, I just know that none of them, no one liked him because he was always in the character of the Bradster. Like that's one of the funniest ideas of like method actors. Like I always think about Daniel Day-Lewis playing that character in There Will Be Blood, and just imagining him being like that at home is just a nightmare. Or he's Abraham Lincoln in Lincoln.
Like
there's so many people who are just like, method acting is such bullshit. It's such bullshit. But like Daniel Day-Lewis, who wins Academy Awards, okay, fine, whatever, do what you got to do. The Bradster? Are you kidding me?
See, that's the thing. Like
he's your stereotypical Chad.
Sometimes I love method acting, even like when it's crazy. Like even when it's small thing, like Shia LaBeouf in Fury, like how like he actually got like a tooth removed and stuff, and like
is he a method actor?
Yeah.
Was he method in Holes?
I don't think he knew what method acting was in
Stevens?
Holes. But yeah, like when it's something like that, like when you really like envelop yourself in a character, I enjoy it. But when it's something like the Bradster, it's like. You're
so far up your own ass and you have no idea where you are.
Yeah.
Like if you're method acting in Night of the Creeps, you have no idea where you are right now.
You're in the wrong profession then.
Yeah.
You're just an asshole if you're method acting.
You're just the Bradster.
Yeah.
Boozy, you are the only one. You've never seen this before. This is this is the 5th or 6th time I've watched it.
Yeah.
And I don't know about Diego, but
it's
I know
probably up there.
It's one of your favorites. Yeah. I know that. So Boozy, what did you think about it?
I love this movie.
Yeah.
I wish I could have posted about it, but I can't because I was like,
yes,
I'm saving it for this.
Okay,
I'm saving it for this.
I know, but you can do that. It's okay for me to know that you, because for all week I'm like, did Boozy hate Night of the Creeps?
No, I did. I like it. You kind of said it before. I was like, it's an amalgamation of all the best things from the 80s, like smushed into one. I really, really like aside from the like Pillsbury Doughboy creatures at the start, the aliens.
Love them.
When it gets to like the like the quote unquote comet landing and the black and white and stuff, I was like, this is an awesome way to start. Like it's totally like just the Blob. Yep. And it's just referencing things that I like, which is this whole movie is just referencing other things that I like. But even having like when it goes to the Bradster and the current day, and it's all the cool guy. You got to be a cool guy, and there's all the hot chicks and stuff, and it's like all these characters that interact in ways where now if these characters are interact, you're like they don't like each other. But in this, like the nerdy guy like doesn't even talk to this hot girl, and all of a sudden she's like kind of interested in him, but he has to be cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's all the stuff where it's base storylines that they don't always fill out, but it makes it for a more enjoyable movie.
It does. It's a party movie, and you know what? Like, this is one I'm really happy to hear that, because I watched Night of the Creeps when I was younger, and when I was younger to the point where I didn't understand all the references. I just thought it was I thought it was just like a gooey, fun horror movie. But as I got older, I love it more and more. And like as seeing all the references to other horror movies. So it's nice for me to hear someone who just watched it for the first time at 28 years old, 27 years old, and who loved it. Like that is awesome, because I know there's a lot of people out there who don't necessarily, it's not that they don't get it, it's that it doesn't click with them. Because I have shown this movie to people where they're like, it's kind of boring.
What?
I don't think it's boring at all. There's enough crazy shit that happens.
The crazy shit, and like just the dialogue is always just so interesting.
This movie has like all of the best fucking quotes.
Yeah.
Like the best. I wrote a couple of them. Like, just, I'm gonna need your basic flamethrower. It's just like zombies, exploding heads, creepy crawlies, and a date for the formal. This is classic Spanky. I got good news and bad news.
This is my favorite line.
I got good news and bad news, girls. The good news is your dates are here. The bad news is they're dead. Oh man!
And a lot of them come from Tom Atkins.
Yeah, they
Like,
all
just spit one-liners all the time.
Yeah,
And I just thrill me. Like, I just love that.
Thrill Me is classic.
Okay, I have to ask, because I can't be the only one who thought this was super jarring and strange. You know what? When the bus derails, it like is about to crash, and the bus driver's eyes like
kind of poke out of his
like
hand,
they're fucking like marshmallows. What was
It's
80s, man.
Yeah, it's 80s slapstick. Like, to me, that's like,
it was supposed to be
humor.
like Bugs Bunny, because he wasn't infected. Also, I'm assuming that everyone who made Slither watched this movie.
I was gonna get to that. Like, Slither is basically like a spiritual successor.
That's the thing is, I've seen movie. Slither first. So watching this, I'm like, I've seen these things before.
Yeah, there's so many, and like, what's crazy is that this movie was like, it was like a box office success.
Was it?
Yeah, people went to it, and that's just crazy to me, because I feel like there's a lot of people who won't, like, this movie will not resonate with them. To them, it'll just be a bad horror
cheesy
movie.
B movie.
Yeah, well, to them it would be bad. But like, it's totally like, it knows exactly what it wants to be, and I think it lives along the likes of Return of the Living Dead and like Night of the Demons and The Blob and stuff like that. But even the Blob is treated a lot more straight faced than this. But there's still like the effects are great in this movie. The writing is the shining aspect.
Even characters were like in most movies, like J.C. Hooper's character. In most movies, I would find someone like him annoying, but I fucking love him in this movie.
Yeah.
Like it's. I don't know what it is about him. It's just the way he like talks and like continues like his thought process and just keeps going and going and says everything is a joke. He makes it work. I don't know if it's the writing or the acting, but something about it just clicks with me.
I think it's honestly one of those perfect marriages that just happened. Like, it's just one of those things that just happened. Like, even Steve, who plays the unibrow jock, the one with the unibrow, guess what his real name is?
Steve.
Dave Oliver. Which is my
Poppy
dad.
Oliver.
That's my dad's name, but that's also I'm Mitchell David Oliver.
Yeah.
So he's and then also.
And what's your social insurance number?
And that also sent me down a rabbit hole of finding out that there is an Oliver Mitchell who's a crew member on The Meg and Edge of Tomorrow.
Hey,
Oh, good for him.
Yeah,
that's
good for
a
him.
weird thing to go after.
He's living a better life than me.
So is he like your alternate?
Yeah, well, he's off doing that, and I'm fucking plumbing.
Somewhere Oliver Mitchell's out there is going, fuck, I wish I was a plumber.
Yeah.
Fuck, I wish I hosted a local podcast.
Oh my god.
I just have to say, for this movie, any movie that can show me a woman breaking up with a zombie and like be fun and interesting is always a good sign. I loved that whole, like, that's the kind of comedy that you need, where it's not like super in your face. It's just like these subtle things is like, oh, this person's getting broken up with, but they're a zombie right now.
They're screaming like a banshees.
Screaming like a banshee. Like, why was that funny?
I don't know. And he just he said it like 8 times, but then even when he was alone,
it cuts to him walking around
screaming like a banshee. Real quick, this isn't even something that's on IMDb, like trivia or anything. I just noticed it when I was rewatching it. The scientist guy, actually, like the main guy who gets like killed first, I guess.
Yeah.
He's the fucking bank manager in Drag Me to Hell.
Oh.
Why do you know that?
Because I recognized his voice, and it's like I watched Drag Me to Hell recently enough. Is that the word?
Yeah, Drag Me Hell.
Yeah, but I'm like, is that the right grammar? Recently enough?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watched it within recently enough that I recognized his voice, and then I looked at him close and I paused it, and yeah, like especially wearing glasses, it's the same fucking guy. So then I looked it up, and yeah, the bank manager from Drag Me to Hell plays young scientist.
Even Drag Me to Hell, like that, you could tell that Sam Raimi, like I feel like Sam Raimi loved this movie.
Oh, probably.
And Drag Me to Hell and Ready or Not.
What?
Sorry, I'm not gonna.
What did you?
It's similar endings.
Oh yeah. I thought you were just. I thought you said Drag Me to Hell already or not. Like you wanted me to shoot.
No. Wow. But yeah, kill me, please.
Thrill me.
Fucking kill me. No, I love the one scene where Cynthia does the classic. She pulls the finger, the Jack in the Box, the middle finger to the jock. Classic move. But I love how she gets a little golf clap.
by the rest of the frat brothers.
Yeah. Man, there's so many like awesome things in this. This is just one of those movies that like there's nothing new that we can say about it that hasn't already been said, but it's one that I just want everyone to watch.
It's just such a good movie. It's such a fun movie. Like whether this is a movie too, or even like I watched it alone and I still enjoyed it. Like it's you can watch it alone, you can watch with friends. I think no matter how you experience it, it's gonna be up your alley, especially if you like cheesy horror movies. I can't recommend this movie enough, and it obviously makes it. If you've seen it already, then you understand this. It makes the perfect double pairing with Slither.
Slither and Night of the Creeps would be an awesome double feature.
They're basically, like I said, the Slither is essentially basically a sequel to Night of the Creeps.
Do you know what fucking Fred Decker wrote this in a week?
Are you serious?
He wrote this whole script in a week.
That's better than anything I could do.
Is he documented in doing cocaine at all? Like, is he like a Steven?
Everyone was doing cocaine in the 80s.
That's true.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug. So, no, I don't know. I love this movie. I don't think that we're doing the movie any like. We just need to let you all watch it.
Yeah,
you got to go watch it. Boozy, do you have anything else you want to add to this?
Take it as someone who didn't see this movie till 27. It's awesome. Don't wait to go see it.
I thought
that was you saying 2017.
I thought he was saying 2007.
No,
I always forget that you're younger than me because I respect you.
You're 27.
Yeah,
you could still die right away and go along with the greats.
27 Club.
I've been praying every night.
Yeah, that's fucks. Yeah,
I beat.
You guys let it down. You guys let
There's
it
no such thing as the 29 Club.
69 Club.
You guys are out of the fucking club.
Yeah. 69 Club, we know about that one though. Hey Diego, thank you. Pound it.
Power bottoms unite.
Yeah.
Yes. Missionary.
I was like, nah, I didn't want to entertain that one.
All right, guys. Night of the Creeps is great. Go watch Night of the Creeps.
10 out of 10.
Diego.
You got anything you want to say?
This is it. This is the end of the road for your old pal Diego. It was fun. I'm glad I could do this last one. We originally meant to do this like
weeks ago,
a month ago.
Yeah, a
month and a half ago.
Yeah, but then Boozy couldn't make it, so we postponed it
because it would have been really awkward if it was just me and you.
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to fucking do it without Boozy. Like that'd
be so weird. Skype me in.
Yeah, it's a brotherhood. I hope you don't stop wearing that hat.
No, I definitely won't. Nor the shirt. I'm glad that we did this. I'm glad that we all have the memories from it. I'm glad we met lots of cool people through it. I'm glad you guys aren't stopping, like, on account of me. Because I think you guys are doing really good things. And it's only just picking up steam, too, like, with the whole fucking Saskatchewan Podcast Network. I don't think you guys are going to slow down at all. And, like, I'm still, like, associated to the email, so I get, like, you have a new Podbean follower. And I'm like, oh, good. So, yeah, no. For everyone who's listening out there, don't cry for me. I'm already dead.
Going out on a Simpsons reference.
Yeah. No, keep listening to them. If for some reason you want to pay attention to what's going on in my life. Just follow my social medias. I'm not going to bother saying it because it's out there. I don't give a fuck.
Mr__Rager.
Yeah, 2 underscores.
On Instagram.
On the Instagram. I don't really use anything else very much. Sometimes I use Twitter.
Instagram's the best.
It's the thing I'm the most comfortable with,
It's the
too.
easiest.
I like
That's why
it. It's the easiest, and you can see people's bullshit rather than read it.
Yeah.
That and, like, on Facebook...
Takes less time out of your day.
On Facebook, you see so much fucking depressing and sad shit, and then sometimes a funny meme. Or on Instagram, I open it up
It's
and it's
mostly
usually like
memes.
It's the green Eminem having sex with like frog.
Yeah,
or something.
that you have less of your family sharing shit videos you
Exactly.
don't want to see.
Yeah.
That's the whole. I got chased off of Facebook because I don't want to see that shit.
Instagram's my favorite out of all of them.
Instagram is the best.
Letterboxd is my favorite, but yeah, count on hearing from Diego again.
Yeah, this is like I'm not a member of the Terror Table after this, but I'm still like I would still love to do like guest episodes and stuff. Like
Hand in your badge and your gun, kid. You're off the force.
No, like if there's a movie, obviously I can't think of anything off the top of my head that's coming out because there really isn't anything I can think of coming out. But like if there's a big like horror movie that like we're all like equally interested in, you guys end up doing an episode and want me on as a guest, I would be more than happy to.
Or you could come back for one of the Marvel movies. You
Yeah.
guys did those before.
Yeah, me and you can do those together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, man, the fucking works. So.
All bullshit aside, I'm gonna miss having you here all the time, even though you haven't been here all the time in a long time. But like I just hope that we can stay connected.
I think we will. I think
I come to all of your shows, so I'd like to think that keeps me like a little bit above, like a little bit there with you.
Yeah, Boozy tried. He tried his hardest, and then he got taken away to emo night.
I didn't even think I was gonna be in fucking town, and all of a sudden I'm going to emo night. I was like, oh, okay.
There's a new emo night, and it looks awesome.
Oh, the My Chemical Romance cover. Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. I'm like, fuck, I actually kind of want to go to that.
Like Eric and Jibs are playing in that.
Actually?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'm really excited about it. But no, Diego, it's bullshit. Love you, buddy.
Love you too.
Love you so much.
Both.
Thank you so much for being a part of this.
We all got to bond through this. The Terror Table is going to be a little bit less diverse from now on, but
we're gonna have a
ethnic-wise,
little less foreskin in the room.
We're gonna have less. We're gonna have less foreskin, and we're gonna have less of a Mexican guy saying that he's German. But no, it's been fun. Love you so much, and we'll see you guys all next. Me and Boozy will see you guys next week, in which we don't know what we're gonna talk about.
Right.
We're gonna figure something out, but we'll be back every single Wednesday. You can expect an episode from the Terror Table.
You guys should do Red Dragon.
That's such a weird pull that we dip right into Red Dragon. All right, everyone, love you so much. Thanks for listening. Make sure you go and show Diego some love on his social medias. Find a picture of him looking particularly smexy and tell him that you love him.
There's a few of those. So
yeah. All right, we'll see you guys next week on the Terror Table, which is presented by the Saskatchewan Podcast Network, who is currently sponsored by Connexus Credit Union. Love you guys. Good night.
stay spooky.
From where we began, we started. Oh, I'll tell you all about it when I see you again. When I see you